10 years ago, was released today from the federal penitentiary after serving 11 years with a 10-to-life sentence. To this day, $250,000 in gold bullion involved in the original crime has not been recovered. Police officials doubt the gold can be recovered, pointing out that should the gold be found by Pappas, the insurance company would have the first claim. $250,000 in gold, and this guy used
Don't say hi yet. I gotta drink my coffee. Give me a minute. It's not good. All right. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the stream. How is your Thursday going? Hopefully, it's at the very least acceptable. We also, Jesus Christ, I did not know that was that low. Jeez, I was really just trying to get an eye shot. Anyways, ooh. Anyways, luckily they're gym shorts, but you know. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I did not know she has a weird, like, eyepiece thing on her arm. Like a weird, what's that? Looks like almost like a Zorro thing. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, how are you this fine, fine day? She's doing that Instagram thing where she covers her giblets with a single limb. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, how was your day? Fluff pointed out expertly so we got new emotes for YouTube as a whole. Goddamn. Also, sorry, I keep screaming. Let me turn myself down just one tick. That better? Now it seems like I'm too quiet. Test. Regardless, yeah, I'm super hyped, man. We finally are getting some plays. I'm excited because YouTube as a streaming service, to me, has been getting better, but has been missing the mark recently. And they recently did like a massive content creator streamer. What is it called? Consolidation, basically, where everyone comes together and talks to YouTube themselves and says, like, what do you want from streaming? And they're like, for the love of God, this. Stop doing this, and then do this. I think them updating emotes every now and again is a good idea. As well as them, they have polls now, finally. That's nice. It would be cool if there was, like, games that we could play in poll land. As well as a rating that's not whatever the hell pushing or whatever they called it is. Yeah, so I'm happy with the fact that they're making tweaks and adjustments. I think in maybe possibly a year, we might actually see YouTube streaming pop off and or either become equivalent to Twitch and its usability or more, I think. But we'll see. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, how was your day? Mine was pretty fine. I wasted some of it watching some YouTube videos, but then I started editing another video. And boy, oh boy, did those videos take a long time to edit out. But yes, we got Fluff saying new general purpose emotes, neat, goat, and screaming fish, I think. Lone says hello. What's good, Lone? What's good, Fluff? What's good, Bolty? What's good, Sparks? Lone says, what's up, Grin? Not too much. Lone, not too much. Last couple days, I've been grinding. Yesterday, I finally got back into doing recon and research, man, and it feels so good. I feel like that's always the missing piece in the equation of, like, I feel a little like I'm missing something. Oh, I'm missing 15 things. Good, let's work on that. And I'm like, good, good. Good news, maybe possibly, I released maybe possibly 2 videos, and I tweaked the thumbnail to one of them. and on a brand new channel with nothing in it. It went from getting 2 views, which was me, because I had to make sure it was working, and I basically sparked up and got 10 while changing that thumbnail, and I'm happy about it. Now I need to go change the second video's thumbnail because it's terrible. And now that I've aggregated a bunch of data on what the best thumbnails for VR usually are, yeah, I have to go back and tweak things. Also, I do not place a beacon. Stop it. Don't come over here, please. Also, don't come to the server that I'm also on. Shit. Just take me away. Thank you. Yeah. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be starting right at the hop, grinding out this new event. What are we doing? I think it's the same thing as killing enemies. Also, just by doing the tiny bounties, you're able to get all of the red nucleus, so it's kind of a quick event to do. But unfortunately, we did miss one event, kind of. It was not really. It's an event that's terrible. When an event is so bad, I don't do it. Like the racing one, I barely did. But there was one that we missed. And the things with the events to me that are like must gets is this. Where it looks like, oh, you're just getting 1 copy of this schmutz or whatever. This weird gray space scripture. Actually, this may not be it. Where is it? Maybe that is it. But yeah, there's usually like a thing that you can only get via getting XYZ or whatever. Like there's a special gadget thing that's like, it's 30 shards in one, so it's huge. It's actually really worth doing. And I missed out on one of those because one of the events was so stupid that you had to like, I don't know what it was. I just remember it was like, I can't handle it. It's too much. But we will buy one of those. Boom. And then another one. Boom. And then we will buy the rest. The good thing about this event, though, is I think it's pretty chill. We literally just have to kill these enemies. And I think... Oh, wait, never mind. Oh, never mind. This might be a whole thing. Oh, shit. Ew. Ew, also. I thought it was chill. That's not... Well, hopefully the third bit. No, it says to-do list. Oh, no. I liked it when we just farmed enemies, not bosses. Like bosses. Eesh. Anyway, let's catch up on chat. And we'll jump in. Boldy says, yo. Lone says, you say that we all we already said hello. I know. How did a shot and not really it's true. It's gym shorts. Even if it was, I'd still say it's gym shorts just because safety. Spark says, although YouTube seems to be pretty chill when it comes to like cartoon Harada, you know. Spark says, changed up the start time of your streams. They're all seemed so much. Yes, Spark. So how our streams have worked is because we started streaming God of War. In order for me to beat the game, we had to do longer streams. So we fucked around with the idea of streaming at 1 p.m. And then we've seen a lot of the same faces that I've come to love, and also new people, which I was surprised by. So yes, most of the streams are always going to be now at 1 p.m. except for what was it, Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. Tuesday's stream I think will be at 5 p.m. Yes, because Lone has work that day, and the reason why, yeah, I think that's right. That makes sense. Yeah. Fluff says, HoloLive and other streamers, VTubers, have probably helped pump YouTube streams and to greater heights. Yes, well, to me, it's weirdly like comforting when YouTube keeps buying up content creators, which I know sounds weird. It's not like the main reason why is because it shows to me that like you wouldn't keep buying up content creators unless you were trying to still genuinely be building a platform, because there was a long time there where they didn't do anything. Where they like, you're like, are they gonna drop streaming? Like, at least that's my feeling of it. I was worried that they were eventually gonna be like, maybe we should like back up. But no, then they've pushed it forward, and yeah. We've got redirections equal to raids, memberships, and gifted and set of membership polls systems has been around for a while, as of I recall. Yeah. The recall, the member, or the I think maybe they just made it easier to set up polls, because I've recently started getting it yelled at me. But yeah, also they have like cheers and stuff like that that are pretty good. Again, I want to run this by you guys really quickly before we. Honestly, this might. I thought we were gonna be like easily grinding a lower little encounter, not like a whole ass boss. We're gonna have to stay in like the world map and be like, please come at me. Buddy says temp polls on reward tab. Oh, for what? For what? One more thing I wanted to say that. Like one of the things that I wanted to start doing, and I was trying to go to bed last night, and I couldn't, and I ended up clicking, or I went down the rabbit hole. Like, this is the importance of like recon and research, but it's also just paying attention while you're going through like the rabbit hole of YouTube. But I went down the rabbit hole of YouTube, and I found like a formatted video that I thought was like fun, but too much work to be worth anything, essentially. And it was the I did blank with only blank, or can you beat blank with only blank, that kind of video. So I watched one where it's like, can you beat Dead Island with guns only? Can you beat Dead Island with basically like a thing? And I thought that's so fun of an idea, but Jesus Christ, like some games are like minimum 20 hours, so like, geez. But then I thought, I'm in the VR space now, a little bit. You guys haven't seen how we fucking roll in the VR space yet, but maybe one day I'll have the balls to show you. But I'm in that place. I'm kind of like, well, fuck, in order to make the ideas I have, I don't want to devalue the videos I make by streaming the same activity, but then just edit it because it's not that much of a conversion. So then I was like, what do we do with this? And then I thought, that could be a fun stream. Like doing something in the VR space in that same format of like, can you beat Boneworks with only a brick, basically. And there's gunned enemies, so this is a lottery setting probably. Or can you beat Half-Life Alyx with magic, essentially, only. So things like that I think would be fun. And then we could stream that whole process in a stream. It's also really easy to understand what's happening in the stream. Okay, why are you struggling? Okay. And then basically taking that consolidation of a stream and the journey through it and editing that down and putting it in someplace. But I would also be playing on my time to some extent. I wouldn't be doing the entire experience in a video, in Streamland, which there just have to be some good faith that I didn't fuck up. But otherwise, it would be like, it'd be like, we wrapped up God of War in like 6 parts, but that was doing 5 hours a day and like making sure we were keeping pace. Although theoretically with Boneworks, I feel like I could keep pace because I've mapped the way I'm doing the Boneworks videos, which you guys don't worry about. I mapped out the levels in my mind, same way as Half-Life Alyx. So yeah. Anyways, also just thought I'd mention I got lit up by acne out of nowhere. Okay, I was doing real good for like 5 months, and then I just fucking smashed. Anyway, also, what is good? I seen someone pop in. What's good? Alex? I'm gonna call you Alex. What's good, Alex? How are you? Alex says, yo, what's good, Alex? I'm sorry we're stunned here for a little bit. I haven't talked to you guys in a couple of days, so I want to talk. So bit by bit, YouTube is improving. They need to dedicate Discovery tab for live streams like they have with Yeah, man, that'd be huge. And also, if you could filter, man, that'd be so cool. If you could filter by like, I wish so much that YouTube would allow creators to like check off boxes for what they are trying to achieve with their streams. Not only would that just be good for content for like you as a person realizing who you're kind of catering to, and it push content creators in that way, but also it would help you find things that you want to do. Like if what do you determine your gameplay to be? Some people really go hard for like high level super esports, great like Apex Legend streams, right? If you could flick that on within like the search engine of the live stream tab that you're talking about, Fluff, if they ever do add this, or you could do like, I'm more into like goofy fun, friends just shooting the shit, making jokes. That's what I'm into. You could flip on that and you could find it. And then I hope there's like a home page which just throws up whatever people seemingly are interested in and whatever the algorithm thinks you'll like. Because that's also the biggest thing. The amount of times I get like I'm starting to use the home page because now I know what it does, which is basically it's like trying to find out what you like. So I've never used the homepage on YouTube. I'm starting to, and I get suggested like a video with 1,000 views, but it's about like spear. It's about like spear stances. Anyway, shut up. Anyways, it's cool. Anyways, and then it shows me them, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, you search 2-3 things. Anyways, also Lone says, You don't have to alter your idea for my sake, you don't have to alter your ideas for my sake, GRINN. If you want to stream at 1 p.m., you stream at 1 p.m. No, to me, it's not. It's one of the reasons is because I think it's nice to pivot around and to work around people who are consistently here and consistently talking, etc. I value all of you a great deal, but yeah, if like there is an adjustment that also seems valuable to, like, I was always going to try to shift around times. This is the excuse for me to do it, essentially. So I'm using you in a way as a scapegoat to finally say, fuck it, I guess we'll try this now. And maybe everything goes to shit alone. But it shouldn't, because 5 p.m. is where we've always streamed. So it's not like an actual, it's just like, oh, this is a good reason to try this now, kind of thing. So yeah, Fluff says shorts were bigger priority for them, seeing as Twitch VODs were often archived on YouTube anyways, but they wanted to compete with other platforms like TikTok. Yeah. Also, I just love that, like, if you go to a YouTube channel now, everything is categorized, so it's a lot less messy. So if you want to see shorts, you can see shorts. If you want to see video uploads, you can see video uploads. If you want to see live, you should see live. I only wish they would do that with the subscriber feed. You have the same tabs, basically, if you just wanted to see all of the streams that happened in the last bit for your channels. Because I don't like that I get things intersecting. I do think it'd be cool if there was like if you, like, so you know how when you look at a YouTube channel, it says like live streams, uploads, shorts, and hopefully whatever else they would add in the future. It'd be cool if on the subscription feed you had the same process at the top of the tab, but if you have a channel belled, the one tab would start like pulsating with red just to catch your eye and to make you, because that shit works great for me when it comes to Discord. Like, just the fact that there's this little red thing that says, hey, somebody mentioned you. Hey, somebody mentioned you. You don't have to get to it, but hey, somebody mentioned you. To me, it just makes me like, I can get to it. And I get to it. But I think that's a really cool subconscious thing. But let's make it this. Bolty was saying something about the rewards tab. I don't know what, yes, I don't know what he was referring to, Bolty. If you would like to clarify, I'd be appreciative. Also, I probably should have been jumping back and forth between talking to you and doing the what seems like, oh no, I don't have enough backpack space. What seems like the thing, where is it? Yeah, like we're gonna be farming bosses apparently. So did they? Wait, maybe they did good. Maybe the devs did good. Let's see. This, go. No, the devs did not do good. Why the hell don't they make it like a matchmaking thing? It's such a pain in the ass to try to like go into. It's so clunky too, where you have to go into the thing in the world map and be like, is anyone fighting the guy? God damn it! Oh, auto join on me 3x booster. That seems not right. That seems like some fuckery. Ugh. And there's nobody like, hey, bud, we're farming the guy. We do have dailies. We could just do dailies until we get things happening. Unfortunately. Also, they have plenty to do, honestly. The thing that sucks, though, is like we're going to eventually need to do this boss thing. And they keep giving you good rewards here. Like, I guess I got to participate in it. That's the worst aspect of it. I think the developers are like, it's so smart. But I don't think it's a good idea. Where, like, you have such good rewards that you make you feel like you have to participate in an event that is shitty and hard to participate even in. Like, it should be easy to try, you know? 10 pulls on a reward tab. The man butt sensor was so hilarious. Yeah, I was blown away I was not expecting that at all, Lone. When I seen just cheeks, man cheeks, I was like, whoa, easy. I mean, it makes sense. It seems like, you know, Deathverse has no chill when it comes to that, but yeah, or Let It Die devs, I should say. Lone says, also GRINN, in your Deathverse video from yesterday, and your reaction to Hunter M was priceless. Yeah, you left that surprise for me. I didn't even know there was like, I thought the hunters were kind of the samey. You know what I mean? Maybe one has range damage, one has melee, but not that. Yeah, I wonder what that is like on the receiving end when you are just like, oh, I'm a little guy in my little crazy tournament, and then you just see some hulking man, Ken dolled up, beastly shredded, and just gunning it at you. How horrifying. How absolute, ugh. Bodhi says I'm not sure if I did a good job censoring it because I think there's another video where I didn't censor it because I don't think YouTube cares usually. Cartoon stuff is, I probably should age restrict that video. I forgot to censor it, I think. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I was good. The video you guys seen was censored. The video after that, I don't know. I have 2 other ones. Fluff says, so, like, TOG ladies only run in Dark Souls 2. Yeah, kind of. I do want to be clever about it. I do want to, like, to me, that was what it made me interested, was, like, the ones where it's, like, beating a game without getting hit once. It's impressive, but it oftentimes is like a person just like dodging all the time, and I don't like it, you know? Whereas like, oh, I never played this game this way. I wonder if it's possible, you know? Like, for instance, the one I watched first was Dead Island, beating Dead Island, but only using guns, essentially. And the whole thing was a fucking pain in the ass for the guy to get a gun in the first place. And also, guns have a huge bad, like, issue, essentially, in Dead Island, where you can't, like, you shoot a gun and zombies start coming at you, so it's not good. But stuff like that, I think it'd be fun, especially interweaving it with streams. That was the one thing that I'm having a hard time, not a hard time, I think it just requires more thought. But basically, how do you create content that is like, can be streamed, but also be a video, and they don't retract from each other, I guess. Because that's the issue I usually feel. Like, I want to do a Live Die Repeat stream, which I think that one works weirdly. Because everyone just wants to see, like, a complete crisp run. But yeah, there's, like, for instance, there's a game that I'm currently playing called Boneworks. And if you whenever I tell you that, you're going to see the videos and realize, oh, this is weird. But it's also going to be it's important that you, even if you've seen Boneworks, but you haven't seen it in a while, it makes the premise of the video connect. But if you have seen it, aka through a stream, you're just going to realize, okay, the person's being weird in the place that I seen when he was streaming. So that one doesn't work. Without me going into too much detail, that one doesn't work. So to come up with like ideas that can be streamed, but also would make for good videos is tricky. That was one of the ideas I thought would work, which is the like trying to beat a game in a very unique way that people who do jump into the stream would immediately know, oh, okay, this is what we're going to get, essentially. And also, to me, it's a little bit provocative in the sense that you're like, okay, I'll struggle with you. You know, because there's something nice about that, where, like, you all are rallying around a point of madness, I guess. You know, like a weird context, and it kind of fits the aspect of a stream, where, like, when you're watching a person do a playthrough, you're kind of like, okay, I like it, but yeah... But there's no, like, hook, you know? I guess there is for a story. Story, you're, like, wanting to know what happens next as a community or experiencing this together. But yeah, it doesn't always work with, in all cases, I guess, is what I'm getting at. So you gotta find that right format, the right resonance, so that things feel good. Lone says, oh, I love those kinds of videos. Yeah, the ones where they're really unique. Yeah, and I thought it would work great, because I seen how people did it, and I thought, like, when I was editing my, they basically make it a story. So, like, they take the stream, they maybe throw in some of the goofy fun bits, but then, like, they narrate all of the fucking horrible problems they had to deal with through this, etc. I just watched one of Can You Beat Ratchet and Clank with Only a Wrench? That sounds awesome. Yeah, see, like, and they're also so good titles, such good titles, because you're like, god damn, I want to see what that is. Is it possible? Nah, can't be. I guess you have a ranged throw, maybe. God damn, you'd have to get really good at dodging and shit, yeah. And there's ones that I think could be fun, like the Can You Beat Half-Life Alyx with using only magic? And then within the first opening you say, we're also playing on the hardest difficulty imaginable with a mod that kills you in one shot. So we are pretty deadly, but they also are extremely deadly. It'd be a lot of, like, trying to do, like, weird hand signs and then casting a ball. Depending on Ratchet and Clank, I know the wrench is actually pretty viable. Yeah, some of the Ratchet and Clank games, they just threw it away, like, you're just break crates. And then other times they made it good. Although, man, I have two favorite weapons in the Ratchet and Clank series. One of them is, it was in Tools of Destruction, I think, and you just could bash the shit. It was, like, basically like a giant mace that had, like, a retracting mace chain, and you could just bash everything around you. You could just spam it, and it was just super massive AoE. You could equip elements on it that it just made a mess. It was great. My favorite. It was just probably my favorite weapon. But then there was also another Ratchet and Clank game where you had like this void wisp, like fish-looking thing, and you would do like punches, and you would summon forth this like spectral void creature that would expand into a giant monster, bite the enemy, and then deconstruct into a tiny little like snake thing in your arm. So wicked, so cool. Both of those weapons I love to bits, and they were technically, in a weird way, melee. Also, what do we need to do? Oh, eliminate this specific shield beat. All right. Also, by the way, it is so cold in Canada. I believe it's minus 31 Celsius. I believe that's correct, or whatever it is. And with the windshield, it's going to be 40 something. It is death cold outside, like very death cold outside. Skyrim with magic only could still be. Oh no, Fluff. Oh, Fluff! Don't trigger me right now. I got ideas, my guy. I mentioned this last stream. I bought a bunch of games that I've been like, I'm gonna make this and do this and do this. I got ideas for a very, very cool Skyrim stream Let's Play. It's a fucking crazy mess, and it's gonna require a lot of prep with mods and making the game look not shit, but also making the game getting companions. Getting the right spells, because that's the one thing in Skyrim. Spells can look fucking like okay, but then there's spells where like we can have some stupid fun. Like I in my head, just to spoil some of the things, I want to go get some magic spell mods where you can straight up grab someone with telekinesis, pull them right up to you, and then blast them in the face with fire and shit, which you can do. I have seen. Or even just picking someone up and then like hucking them off a mountain or grabbing them. There's also like a force spell through mods, which just have like basically it's like a force Fusru Da that just smashes people off a mountain. And I'm just like, dude, we're gonna have so much fun in Skyrim VR when eventually we get to it. Again, I'm still kind of forming these formats for these videos in this unknown channel. And yes, so we're getting to it. Look at that. I'm so excited, but I'm also, again, like I talked about this kind of in a shitty way last stream. Like I didn't do a good job expressing it, but it's like I have all these ideas I want to do, but I know the smartest thing to do is to like never forget the ideas, write them down, make sure you know what you're thinking and how you're gonna execute them, but then go back to these ideas of like live, die, repeat. Another one that I haven't told you guys about at all, and like format them in a way. That until like I feel comfortable in this like weird new format that I kind of made, and yeah, I shouldn't say I made. I made for my version of the weird format. Could we do to the sugar intake, especially if they're changing their diet? Let me catch up. Nah, can you beat Half-Life Alex with only? You cannot, unless you can get more grenades. Maybe, but it needs to have a point. Like that's the other thing. There's a lot of these like, can you beat this game with doing the most like agonizing playthrough ever? And I'm like, see, that doesn't do anything for me really. I just want to see a different lens of the game I liked. So like for instance, I would not have clicked on like a racing game. Like, can you beat this racing game with one arm? I'm like, maybe. Can you beat it with your feet? Like maybe that's more provocative. Maybe. But if I don't have any initial interest with the game, I don't know. Whereas, like, can I beat Fable unarmed? And I love Fable. I've never seen unarmed even be a possible thing. How is that even remotely okay? Is this a mod he's doing? I don't know. Let's see what that looks like. I think so. It doesn't need to be like rip your fucking hair out difficult. It just needs to be a different perspective of a game that I never experienced, but I want to see what that looks like in that experience, I guess. At least that's my hope. I hope I'm not the only one that's like that. Like yeah, I don't just get off on the difficulty of something. I want to see the version of that thing. Could be the sugar intake. Yeah, I haven't had that much sugar though. If you're talking about the acne thing, yeah, I feel like sometimes it is. I think it's winter. My surroundings are cold, so my body temperature increases. But then I also like you have a grease, I guess, because you're sweating essentially, because your body's like warm and it's weird, it's cold. And I think that creates like a grease layer on your face, therefore increasing acne maybe. But yeah. YouTube streams also, let's do this because I'm catching up on chat. YouTube streams could also benefit from the chapter system, especially helpful if you switch from chatting and game to game. Yeah, one of the things that I wish, man, I just wish it was easier to cut out the beginning part of the stream. Like starting soon. And I feel like if you could, and you can crop it, it just takes such a long time to go into the YouTube editor and take out that chunk. Because I genuinely do feel like if you could just start a video and person's like immediately into the game, hi guys, how are you, reading chat, I feel like you're immediately pulled in. Whereas if you're like, you click on a video and it says starting soon, you're like, oh, this is a stream, this is like nothing, you know, which is tough. I figure a longer term goal is to have lengthier streams that cover the 1 p.m. To 7 p.m. window. I don't know about that. That's nuts. I don't know if I'd ever go beyond 5 hours. I said that. I don't know if I'd ever go beyond 2 hours. We did that, but we'll see. Again, I think I'd have to really find a rhythm that I feel like I am. Because my thing is that I hate the feeling that like when you devolve again, essentially when you dissolve essentially. So you're streaming and you're like, I'm so tired, I'm not in this anymore, I'm disconnected, I'm detached. I just feel like I'm half-assing this, you know. At least when we were playing God of War, there was like I could lean on the fact that we're all experiencing a great game. Fluff says, yeah, feed. Feeling neglected. I need more options to. Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're like me, who has 2,000 fucking people to subscribe to. I do like how when someone is live on mobile, you tap their channel icon, and it takes you straight to the stream, even if they're rerouted from previous or upcoming ones. Okay, huh? I know that. Tower Fantasy UI could have a makeover for sure. It's been probably since global launch. Too many. Yeah. To me, it's just like for events, I think everything should be streamlined because otherwise you're kind of just waiting for somebody to say it. And I think game developers need to realize that most people don't want to say it. They don't want to be like, hey, are we doing the thing? You're like, no. Also, can you kill any boss or is it exclusively the new bosses? Let me see. Sorry, someone's doing something in chat. Let me see. Sorry, in the world chat. I just want to see if if that's the right name. Oh, it's an event. Oh yeah, no, that person's a thing. The person says, "Is anyone doing the boss name?" But I wish I could just join in on him and be like, "Yes, let's do it." Hopefully, other people come. Lone says, nope, all hunters work differently. As a person on the receiving end of being chased by a hunter, RN or M is a nightmare, to say the least. Fluff says, yeah, Dead Island guns were extremely scarce in the early game. Made Parna, a long-term investment, and made all the more sense for Sam B tending to be the most popular. Yeah. My favorite man, always John. John was the absolute, if anyone ever played Riptide, which I know, basically like buying the same game. But yeah, it was so good. John was my favorite because he had that weight. You could just like drop kick someone and just send them fucking flying. Also, he was brawler, so you could just beat the shit out of them, and it felt so. I never played a game where melee was that potent. You know what I mean? Where you're getting on top of someone and you're just like the melee combat felt so good. You could also get like blades on your fists and just like shred people. You have to get really close, but it worked out. The Skyrim VR with magic only is a fun idea. Perfect. Lone says the mace was in Ratchet and Clank, not Tools. That was what Ratchet and Clank Deadlock. Sorry, that's what it was. Tools of Destruction. Spark says Skyrim with magic only is actually fun. I role played the heck out of that game. Yeah, I was about to say, Sparks. I seen Melee and it looked, unless you're doing like, I seen one that looked kind of good. Archery looks okay. It looks okay. The like fist, weirdly enough, to me seemed like the best one because most of the time your melee hits don't really connect. It's weird. You have to download a mod that basically increases the potency of your fists and actually and it has physics attached to it. So when you hit, you actually do knock an enemy because otherwise, a lot of people just play Skyrim melee like this. They just wiggle their arm around and their sword does like 15 cuts. It's weird, but yeah. I think I've mentioned it before, but it's wind chill. A windshield is front car window are called. Oh, windshield? Oh, yeah, no. I think it's what it's called, windshield. I always thought it was being hit by a windshield would be quite unpleasant. Yeah. I think it's what it's called in Canada. It's basically like if you ever have been like cold weather, it's cold. But if you ever been hit by cold wind, like really cold wind, it's awful. Much worse. Like you can subsist and your body heat will create like a thermal layer if you're not moving too much. But wind just blasts you in the face and it just like hurts. It hurts. Not good. Magic only runs take much longer for me since I don't use any armor. I should note that I only play the game on Legendary. Oh, Skyrim? Yeah. Well, I feel like you kind of have to because of certain things. Ain't nobody doing the things. Thank you, mate. Nobody doing the boss kills. God damn, we gotta go kill cactuses, I guess. I just let the windshield thing go. I think that's what it's called in Canada. But I understand the confusion. That makes sense. Fluff says, originally Fable definitely has viable unarmed, pretty sure you can fight without weapons in Fable 2 and 3, however. You couldn't. Yeah. Fable 1, yeah, probably. It's very weird to me that like a lot of games, when I said unarmed in Skyrim, you can't do that unless you download mods that basically give you an unarmed skill tree, which are just like infinitely better than the other skill trees. Like that was something that always made me frustrated about Skyrim, is that like magic, specifically like flame, was so overpowered when you first start, and only becomes kind of more overpowered as you keep going. It gets a little bit bad at like end game, which to me is also frustrating. Like that was the one thing that Skyrim that to me bothered me, which was I would have loved to be able to use the magic that I would by upgrading the spell itself, and unfortunately can't really do that in the game. Like unless you do enchanting and like you can just increase your overall damage. But yeah, there was no basically there were like, there should have been an end game version of like the hold burst fire thing, whatever it was called, consistent fire flame. And luckily mods have scaled that to be like, yeah, there's a version where it's like it's called like dragon blood magic or dragon blood fire, and it's just like, yeah, it's red and it does shit tons more damage, and you can still have your fun by blasting somebody with a consistent stream of fire. And you're like, fuck yeah. Okay. Mods are the best. Also, apparently Starfield is being built. It's actually really interesting. There was a Lex Friedman, Todd Howard podcast. Big fan of Lex Friedman. One of my main podcasts I watch. But he was interviewing Todd Howard, and he was talking about how it made me really hyped. But basically, he was talking about if you're going to design a game like Fallout or Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, one of the things that they have to consider now is that people play their games for years, basically, like decades. A lot of their games for decades, so you have to kind of build their games in that way, which is like, and one of the things he touched on in regards to that is basically continuing to build out the modding scene and like the script extenders and etc. Or making a less of a need for the script extenders and stuff like that. So basically, it sounded like each game was going to become better to and easier to maybe mod, and Starfield being one of those games. And I was like, okay, that's exciting. And it was also cool to see them also acknowledge how cool or how like much mods have done for them, you know? Oh. Oof. Only Khajiit melee only runs are double on legendary, by the way. Yeah, a doable on legendary, by the way. Argonians work, but it's brutally slow. Yeah, well, that I'm referring to mods specifically. Yeah. I was specifically referring to mods because there's mods that you can get which increase your just in the same way that you can like just keep leveling like spell damage or whatever it is. Not spell damage, but you can just keep leveling up those things. There's a version of that, a mod that like you can just keep putting your skill points into like more unarmed damage, I do wonder though how you could do that in the way that makes you okay. Like you need to maybe have like also download a spell mod, because that was the other thing. in Skyrim, the not enchanting. What was it? It was like the reinforce yourself buffs. Essentially, it was terrible. It was just horrible. But if there was like a version of that spell that like you could put on like crazy dense armor through like knowing the specific spell, and then you could just beat the shit out of people by running at them, like that would be good. But I don't think that was a thing in Skyrim because it was just not they didn't ever like built out those systems. Mods later did, of course, which is the saving grace of mods. What are we doing? Oh, I wanted to see any luck on anybody saying, hey, do you want to go fight the world boss? JO 80 sadness run 5. What? What? Ain't nobody talking about this damn other bot. Well, looking rough to do this event. We do have a lot to do here, so it's not an issue, but still. I was hoping that Tower Fantasy would be getting clever about like, oh, there's an event in which you have to tear down a world boss, and you can't do it by yourself unless you're a Giga Whale. Maybe it's a good idea to put matchmaking in this thing. No? Fuck me, I guess. Great. Stupid. Anyways. I don't know what to do with this. Also, I don't think this to-do list is going to be like, oh my god, I'm going to be able to do all of that. Huh. Also, we have not made sufficient ground on this. Yeah. Lone says, well, time to go solo bostering. Yeah, right. You kidding me? It's generally why big companies tend to cut off their streams that just has the actual content, but still has a full uncut stream as well. What do you mean, Fluff? I'm not sure what that's attached to. It's generally why big companies tend to do cut of their streams that just has the actual content, but still has the full uncut. Oh no, I say in terms of editing, yeah. In terms of like we were talking about creating content for streams in YouTube, yeah. But to me, that was the issue that I kept facing, Fluff. Is I could tell for certain ideas that having experienced this, having experienced them in the streams would have reduced the quality of the video. And there's some things that like I don't feel like they really take away from the video, like the Live Die Repeat series. It's still satisfying just to see the perfect craziest run imaginable. But for other things like where you're doing a let's play necessarily, if you watch the full stream of a let's play, would you watch the highlight video? Probably not. You watch the entire thing. Maybe if they added some editing, they upped the ante, maybe you'd give it a slight watch. Probably you would tune out though. But then there's the argument of, well, most people who watch the full stream are not the people who watch the video itself. And I think that's also true, but I don't know if it's... Yeah, I still have a feeling that why even play with that and just make something that's different enough, I guess. Oh, you're referring to the starting section. Yeah. It's generally a big complaint tend to cut. Big companies tend to cut off their streams that just have the actual content, but still the full uncut. So yeah. I know what you mean. Fluff says, unarmed on Skyrim is definitely tricky. You'll want a glove enchantment that boosts unarmed. Yeah, no, I'm thinking about in base Skyrim, unarmed is impossible almost, unless you have like Fluff saying this like enchantment glitch that increases your damage, or you're willing to hit someone like 50 times, which sounds awful all around. But with mods, they literally have like a new skill tree of unarmed. So like you increase your damage in all these other ways. Also, in Skyrim, they also have a mod where you can grab people, which is a little bit weird because in the middle of combat, you can literally grab someone by the neck and they're just like a dead fish or whatever, like a cat, just completely halted. If you grab them by the neck, essentially. And yeah, you can just beat the hell out of them, but that's what I was referring to when I meant to unarmed. While I don't do... I didn't do it on Legendary, or whatever the highest was called, Master. I did play on Nightingale Khajiit that punched a dragon to death. Ooh-wee! That sounds amazing. Lone says, I enjoy difficulty as well as the different perspective. Like I remember watching at Borderlands, can you beat with only an action skill? Yeah, see, those things to me, I don't know. I have a feeling that they're not as... I think they're still good, but to me there's like a level of, is this worth the painfulness of the experience, aka the difficulty, the frustration? Is this going to yield me equal or even 50 or 60% of the pain and suffering? No, I don't think, like, unless there was a way for you to quickly math out, like, okay, I only have to suffer for 2 streams, then at that point I'll have enough XP to where I can download, like, I'll get all the cooldown mods. Because I would just think a lot of you is just running, basically waiting for your action skill to come back. So unless it was like, and to me this is why I like games that are clever in that way, where they're like, we know people could do this, we know people want to participate in this weird thing just using their action skill. Let's make a unique shield that increases the damage you take, doesn't give you any shield, but tremendously increases your action skill. Also lowers your action skill damage down enough to where you could still build it, but it wouldn't just be like nuts like action skills tend to feel. Let's do that. Like, you know, and this is one-off, like, boss in the beginning of the game, right here. You just kill him, you get it, and then you can run it if you want to have this weird playthrough. Like, that to me is where I like the developers see extremely good thought, although sometimes it's not even an option. Like, they're like, yeah, we did that boss, and then it's just the worst shit ever. Like, it doesn't do what it... You still should do damage. Like, it's not... Yeah. Should be scaled appropriately. Fluff says Riptide was as standalone expansion. Was nice if you carried over for extra characters, but John had this. You had to start fresh regardless. I never got a chance to play much of Riptide, but I want to. Oh, dude, if you get a chance, even just to like a little bit, I remember John's gameplay being so like I played all the characters, loved Dead Island so much. It's actually one of the first videos I ever made. It was horrible. It's very not good, but it was one of the first things I made, and I leveled up all the characters. I played them. I thought it was so fun. Also, people say like Dead Island's scary. I never felt Dead Island was scary. It was weird. Zombies to me, although we're not like, yeah, maybe it's because you can fight back. I lose all the fear. But yeah, what do you call it? Long story short, I played all of those characters. John was like, I cannot stress how much better John was in every way. Like, it's almost like he was the only balanced character in the game for both fun and actual deadliness, which is a rare combination within games with archetypical builds, or whatever you want to call them. Also, what's good, Red? What's good, Red? Archery Skyrim is easy. I'm about to say, I see people like chain detonate, just like, and they just nuke down an enemy. Seems relatively unfair, but yeah, I feel like I hope there's a mod that does the same thing that we're kind of playing with well, maybe not. We'll see. For like that kind of playthrough of like an archer, I do think you should increase drastically time to kill, because that's what I kind of hope. Is I hope like one arrow in the head will nuke an enemy, because it's like that's what it should kind of be. But also, if you get hit with like a tiny bit of fire, you're fucking dead. You know, like I want that too. I'd rather in every other game I've ever played, I'd rather time to kill be increased than we just dissolve into health sponges. You know what I mean? But that's my preference. I think it's a lot of people's preference. I think a lot of people are really liking the realistic Call of Duty setting, like the difficulty on there, or basically you'll die in 2 shots, but you can also like headshot one enemy and they're gone forever. Same thing with the bullet in the chest. That's disgusting. It's not good. Let us, we could do a lot of things. You know, let's do this. Something I've been neglecting for a great deal of time. Let us do, finally, I don't know how further I'll be able to go, but I haven't, and this is a big issue of why I'm not very strong in this game. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I very much enjoy this game. Oh, we could do Frontier Clash and Void Rift. Hey, you guys want to do Frontier Clash or Void Rift, or should I just matchmake by myself? It's fine. Whatever you decide. But we were going to do Bygone Phantasm, which is why I'm not very strong. I keep forgetting, or not forgetting, I just keep not doing it. I like it. I just, Tower Fantasy is in this place for me, which I love. I really enjoy that it's just like kind of a nice background vibe, you know? I don't need it to be like this main course. Spark says, Archery Skyrim is so easy, just get sneak to 50 and oh yeah, no, it was Skyrim, yeah, sorry, base game Skyrim, I was talking about VR Skyrim, but base game Skyrim, I'm sure it's just as deadly in VR, but that was like the most overpowered thing ever. You would basically, all you would need, if you wanted to be the most overpowered, and I love that they didn't patch this, if you wanted to be the most overpowered you needed to be, you would quickly get your illusion stat, which was terrible. Like, your illusion stat was worth nothing. It had no other skill besides 2 that were really good. One of them was the ability to go invisible. And holy shit, if you had invisibility and archery, everything would die with the smallest, you'd have a shitty arrow, shitty bow, and you could still drop things. And it was awesome. If you wanted to get a little cute, you could go do Daedric summoning, conjure Daedric bow. It was okay, yeah. But that was the absolute most cracked out of your mind loadout ever. Normally I would, but I need to try to attack. Got it, fair enough, fair enough. Also, apparently we're getting in 5 days, I got an email saying that we're going to get a nice Dead Island gameplay dump in 5 days. So that's cool. I've seen some gameplay of the Dead Island new sequel game, whatever you want to call it. Reboot, maybe. There's the dude who's like a stuntman who seems cool. They released this girl who's like a badass, hyper competitive. I don't remember what she had. I'm really hoping out of the lot of characters that we have at our disposal in Dead Island, I hope there's basically John, which is a person that has fuck tons of mass behind his punches, and ideally he doesn't look like he has a giant beer gut, because, you know, kind of want my like fucking brawler, although maybe that'll work too. But I want someone that basically is unarmed fist combat, because that was always my favorite in those games. I know it's weird though, because it's like you want to like decapitate the head of a zombie, but no, in Dead Island I always love just the fucking visceralness to the punching. I'm stuck at Bygone 231 for Bygone, not enough DPS. I don't even know what I'm at right now. I'm at 70. I've been slacking. I was referring to cutting this since. Oh wait, Love says, or more accurately, it's a male word that sounds similar to what it means. Oh, I see. Oh no, Fluff says not. It's just a misnomer. Grin. It's definitely wind chill factor. Windshields are car windows. Oh, it's the how it's said is wind chill. Are you sure? Well, I'm confused. So you're saying I'm lost on what is what? Just, can you make my brain work less hard? Is you're saying, so which one is the correct phrase? If you just tell me that, I'll be able to extrapolate what you meant by the misunderstanding. Because if I've been saying it wrong all day, I don't know. I feel like I've heard everyone say windshield. So maybe it's just a mass adopted misunderstanding. Okay, no, Fluff says 100% certain it's windshield, even in Canada. Let me Google it. I wonder if it's just... And it's called wind chill. I've never heard someone say wind chill my whole life. Weird. Yeah, no, it says wind chill. I'm not going to not say it. I like the fact that it's nonsense. That it just makes sense. Weird. Probably just due to delicate, or maybe. That was a surprise to me. Yeah. No, I've in my whole life, and I have my parents say it. Everyone said it. My teacher said it. Everyone I've moved 3 towns in Canada. They all say that. So weird. Never heard wind chill. It's windshield. The wind chill today is that. Yeah. Weird. So weird. Mind melted. Anyway. Oh, since many company streams include upward of full hour of loading. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, like the I guess you mean. Lone says, is that the mod you showed us on us a video of people hugging? Yeah. You can grab them by the hand. You can grab in VR. You can grab them by the hand and like just like Fable, like take them to a place. If you grab them, they will get into hostile mode. Shit's crazy. Lone says, I'ma definitely look up Dead Island. No, please don't. It's bad. It's rough. It was one of those things where like, and you know what's the worst part about it? Dead Island was such a like a cult classic. People loved it, but reviewers shit all over it. Dead Island. But and it also sold really well. Like that was why it had 2 sequel kind of games. Anyways, I was like the only person that was making builds for it, and I think a lot of people were having problems with it. Specifically, one of the builds that did the best was Logan, because Logan was good, but like he was a weird character where like throwing your weapon was just at a base, not a good idea. It'll get lost essentially. But his berserk mode was insane. You just kill everything. Anyways, so I made builds for the video, and I was terrible at it. I did not like. It was one of those things where you like, oh, I built this character. Let me pretend I know everything about him and express all of the angles when I really myself have no idea. So I did that, and it was horrible. If out of all the videos I would actually say, please don't watch. It's up there because it is peak disconnected. Like I didn't bring any value. The videos got stupid good views because like it got, when I was just starting out. I got like I think 45,000 people watching that, which is abnormal for me, especially as a brand new channel. I also think I probably fucked up my analytics a little bit because yeah, I never played the game again. Dead Island, where'd it go? Dead Island had some tense moments when you play solo, but I never went horror type game without someone else. Yeah. Fluff says, outside of Dying Light 2, I managed to get over my anxiety and play a lot of it alone. Interesting. Yeah, that's funny, Fluff. I wouldn't, yeah, to me, I don't know what it is. Like, to me, I feel like, I think that's probably what it is. I love monster movies and monsters and all that so much that, and it's funny because, like, Resident Evil Village, there was not one part in that game where I thought was scary. Like, people got freaked out about like the baby scene where like a baby comes running at you. I don't know what it is. When there's like if I see a werewolf in a video game, a lot of my head just says, "Oh, it's like a cool Halloween-esque world," even though they're horrifying. It disconnects it immediately from me. Also, just being able to fight back, it's almost like I'll become the monster. Come at me. Red says my favorite Dead Island character was is that the, am I thinking that right? She's like the one girl, the one who everyone loved. I think she was the most played character in Dead Island. She was like the Asian person who had like crazy good sharp. She also had like stealth, which was just overpowered apparently. I just found that out today. Yeah, it was nuts. Her the stealth capabilities that she had. You get like it says like you were like 20% less detected, but actually it just made you completely like invisible almost. If you just stepped 2 feet back, the enemies would lose you. And it was like, what? That's so overpowered, man. I love games like that, which have like, I love that when there's like 2 skills in the skill tree that are absolutely broken, but no one knows because it's an old game. People aren't really talking about the game and its breakability things, you know, until like esport people come, or not esport, speedrunners come, and they're like, this is nuts. I did the data breakdown of this skill. And they figure it out, and they're like, here. I'm like, oh, thanks. I'll do another Let's Play, or a playthrough of it, and kick some ass. My favorite is Dead Island. We dealt right at Lone says, normally I would, but I need to charge my tablet right. I'm going on photo. Sadly, Cobalt is holding me back. We hate to see it, Red. Lyra will pull you home, hopefully. No one's doing Fortress Clash, golly. Fluff says, I remember hanging out in the rafters of Whiterun throne room, and I just casting non-hostile illusion spells just to cheese levels down. Yeah. Dude, everyone has a memory in Skyrim of just like, it just sounds stupid, but yeah, you just like putting on a podcast and just sitting there casting spells, letting it recharge, casting spells. And it's so funny because like you could totally tell Todd Howard's like, I made this new thing of like the more you use the spells, the more good they are. But no other spell was good. Like if you had like a thing that you could cast every combat engagement that was super fast, maybe summoned like wisps around you that did some damage and maybe healed you or something, that would be like, okay, I'll do this before I go into combat. And that should scale exponentially for me to actually be able to use this. Anyways, never happened. So you just have people dissolving, just like casting a bunch of spells in like a dark room or something. Or if you're like me, there was a weird glitch back in Skyrim when it just came out. Oh my god, what a trip down memory lane, man. In the first town that you go, you basically do not, there's like a tutorial where they're showing you how to shoot an arrow and like hit an enemy. But because it was a tutorial, theoretically, they wouldn't like get angry at you, so you could like blast them with fire, and it wouldn't count them as being hostile. So I would just spend. I think it was so weird, man. I got a vivid memory. I went to the midnight launch. It was the only midnight launch I ever went to. Big ass line. I got my fucking first legendary ultimate edition of a thing. I got the fucking Skyrim giant dragon. I got all that shit. We stood in line. We got it. I was the little kid holding this big old box. I was so happy. Felt like Christmas. I got home. I started playing it, and I was like, "This is it, baby! I can't wait! 300 hours, ooh wee!" And then for my first 5 hours of that night, I went to bed at 6 a.m. I think. I ended up for that 5 hours just blasting the guy that's supposed to be teaching you how to do like archery and all that stuff at the very beginning of the level, because they wouldn't get aggro to you. And I was looking up like how to massively level up magic, because I just wanted to have an OP start, because that's just me as a person. If I can gain an advantage, I'll take it. Yeah, it made me laugh because my whole time I went to bed like I went to bed with having like a destruction of 70 when I just started, and I nuked everything. It was nuts. Man, such memories. This shit's wild. Shit's absolutely wild. I hope Starfield pulls that back for me for quite a bit, because I thought Fallout was still a very good game, but I think they're missing those moments. Like I love the Elder Scrolls, as much as I shit on it a little bit, of like I like the idea that when you use a skill, you become more proficient in that skill. I do wish there was ways to get around it in some way. Like to me, I think it would always be cool if Bethesda always has a barter-like system that's always very pointless almost. It becomes really redundant. Money is only good to a point, maybe, and then it goes to shit really fast. To where if you, in Skyrim, there was actually a pretty good way, or pretty good reason to make money. You could like go up to a master level archer and just train the shit out of them. But the issue is it was still pretty hard to make money in Skyrim. Like the cost versus the gain of income in that way, unless you were doing like Thieves Guild stuff, and eventually you just pick off every house's economy essentially, so it didn't really work. But if there was a way to like, Fable's my favorite, I always mention it, but if you were able to like buy a Whiterun store and like get a residual income every little bit, and if you were able to like have a house which you could like pay for high level smithing stations that would increase the potency of your spells, so it would actually validate you spending money in a very specific way. Like things like that I think would be so good. Oh god. I think that would be so good for your overall like thing, and again, that would give you another way of like leveling up your character outside just using a weapon, because this is something that Todd Howard mentions in the Elden Ring playthrough, or not Elden Ring, sorry, Starfield. I don't know why I said Elden Ring. Starfield interview talking about Starfield was mentioning that that's such a good mechanic essentially, but also that he wants basically everyone to be able to use certain things. I forget what that was attached to in my mind. I lost it, but yeah, anyway. But yeah, that was a trip down memory lane that Fluffy ignited there with I remember standing in a room just casting an illusion spell, and there was not a lot of use. But that was my whole feeling. I think that's what I was trying to say, is for like all of Skyrim, there are so many very, very cool ideas. Like, hey, we're going to give people the ability to do illusion magic. We're going to, was it alteration? That's what it was called. Alteration. All of those are significantly relatively pointless to do. Like, there's no real reason for you to do it. There's like one spell that's kind of dope for alteration, which like can change. It's like a very niche quest reward, I think, for the Mage Guild, but it gives you the ability to use alteration and change. What was it like? Convert iron into gold. This is like alchemy, whatever you want to call it. And lo and behold, gold blocks are worth nothing. So it was like, oh my god, you leveled up this skill to like 80, which was a crazy thing because it was really hard to level up. Also, like all the alteration spells suck ass. It's just awful. Also, just consolidate alteration and restoration in the same fucking skill tree. Anyways, you're just basically augmenting matter. Anyways, it's annoying. But yeah, that's the whole antithesis of what I hope for Starfield, which I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get more of a Fallout type of skill tree style, which I don't like. I always prefer Skyrim's like you use what you use and go. Oh, that's what I was saying. Also, so many things, but the Elder Scrolls and all that stuff. But I lost the kind of Elden Ring. No, Starfield. Keep saying I don't know why Elden Ring and Starfield are synonymous right now. What was it? Games. Some of them not being developed and thought out. I want that to be the case. And they specifically said that they wanted them to, like, you know how you can use the ability and then get proficient in it? There was a specific part in the interview that I watched with Todd Howard where he's saying that it didn't really work. I've never had this happen to where it's so disconnected. Like, I get fragments, like threads connecting, and they just rip apart again. It's bothering me. It's bothering me that I lost my train of thought that horrifically. It was playing off of the idea of how that, like, oh my god, Skyrim, you use your ability and you become proficient in that ability. But I think that was my whole train of thought. It was just that it didn't work out that way. Like, most people will in the interview, Todd Howard said there was the thing where people basically would restart the game if they invested in a poor investment structure. There we go. Fuck me. Okay, so that was attached to the progression system. But my whole point was basically that people still restarted the game. Like, if you got really deep down the archery skill tree, I don't know many people that said, fuck it, I'm gonna go do magic now. Like, you already invested so many skills. If there was a way to reset your skill tree, maybe? I think there might have been, but yeah, sure as hell, I didn't know about it. But anyways, Jesus Christ, guys, we got there. Man. But yeah, that was attached to the, one of the things I heard him say was like, oh, well, the reason why we built the, you gain levels over time is because it just worked out because people kept restarting. We didn't want them to restart. We just wanted them to keep progressing and change. But if you get higher and higher level, it's harder to get higher and higher levels in that skill, it seems like. So I don't think it was optimized perfectly to actually sequence in that way. But anyways. Lone says, lol, can you make my brain work less hard because sentence hey, well, it's so, like, to me, I'm trying to piece together, because I don't want to lose anyone's comment, I don't read the very newest comment, so I have to backtrack to my head and say, what were we just talking about in which this makes sense? I'm like, okay. But also, I wasn't able to infer what, if Fluff was saying that it wasn't, because a lot of people will say, like, oh, I meant this, and I'll be like, do you mean A or B? Like, I don't know what, like, they're referring to, essentially. Because the context of, like, it makes sense, the context given the moment of me asking the thing. But then as time passes, they'll be like, this is what I mean. But you're missing what this is. Like, are you fighting for or against the thing that we're talking about? So I'm like, which one are you doing? So it gets a little bit lost in my brain. Although I do pretty good about doing the mental gymnastics to take a step back. Unless there's moments like that where I just lose my train of thought that badly. It's like the dancing flamingo. When you would beat the dancing flamingo. What? I don't know what that's referring to. One says, can metamorphosis are mistaking using words that sound similar to another, often to humorous effect. I mean, well, that's the thing with all of my like a lot of things within my family. I got a lot of my brother has this memory where people were basically. He had friends came over, and he said, hey, can you pass me the channel changer? And his friends started laughing at him, and they're like, you mean the remote? And my brother was like, I get, yeah, we always call it channel changer. Like, do you not realize, like, you're literally just calling it the function of what it does? And I'm like, And he's kind of, I think he felt embarrassed at the time, but I was like, fuck those people. Yes, it just, why do you gotta get complicated? The remote. Why not just say the thing, what it does? You don't save that much time by saying one less syllable, you bastards. Anyways. All right, now that I rambled so much about Skyrim, we gotta catch up. On that topic, though, what was your guys' first midnight release, if you guys ever went to them? And or what was your first Ultimate Edition of a game, or whatever you call it? I don't think I only ever got 2. I got Dishonored and Skyrim. Those were my only ever Ultimate Editions, because they had cool Ultimate Editions. Skyrim came with like an art book, this whole thing. Sort of like how you miss hear a lyric verse song, pour some sugar on me, or where is my fuzzy socks, a metaphor, oh, I'm not saying that right. I have no idea how to even pronounce that fluff. Woof. Dead Island was essentially the Eero jank first-person Diablo-like without looking like. Well, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Well, it says also God of War update. I just saved Freya's brother and killed Himdall. I know I spelled his. No, it's a fuck. You don't have to. Yeah. No, awesome. That slow time spell, man, is pretty good. Well, I feel like there's better ones that I just never got my hands on. Logan had various perks that alleviated the risk of losing your thrown weapons. Oh, Logan had various perks that elevated the risk. Yeah, elevated the risk of yeah. Logan was one of those weird ones where, like, again, it was one of those things where, like, it's clunky, but because his ultimate is so strong, you're kind of like, he's balanced because this thing is so overpowered. I just remember using his ult, and you just do this. You basically like make it rain with knives, and you just fucking just annihilate everything. And they knew that too, because there wasn't many like skill cooldown things in that game. You actually spelled it correctly. Also, spell it in game. Lone says also that mod was not made for wholesome reasons, as that video. No, absolutely not. But it also is very cool in just the sense that like that's one of the things that makes me so frustrated. Like, as much as I'm talking about how much I love, like, you know, Skyrim and Elder Scrolls, and I'm very excited for, you know, Fallout. I like them. Like, as much as I may have criticism, I still like. They're a must-buy. They've not even gotten close to where I would consider no, with the exception of Fallout 76. But that was just me being like, that's not the game for me. It's not what I want from Fallout. Maybe I'll change my mind, but as of right now, no, hasn't really changed. But what was I saying in regards to that? Also, the mod. The one thing that to me, that's what really bothered me about Bethesda is one thing that's really notorious if you're in the VR space, which now I'm starting to like get into. Fallout 4 or 5, the newest Fallout game outside of 76, I think it's Fallout 4, is the worst. Is touted as being one of the worst ports of VR ever. None of the guns have animations where you reload. The only thing that they did really well is they made it so that they did a weird thing with the camera to where they like feathered the edge to where it makes you feel like you're moving less fast, so that you'll feel less motion sick. Because people who have bad motion sickness are playing Fallout 4 and saying like it's fine, VR wise, I mean. But it has one of the worst VR ports ever. Like when you reload, it's clunky. Like you basically don't have an actual reload. Like it would be awesome. It'd be so fucking cool. Fallout 4 mod if you could reload and aim. If they added like 2 updates to make that game infinitely better. If they made it, and the reason why they say that none of these features are in the game is because it basically it lost. That like they didn't give the developers enough time to actually code things in properly. So all of the guns, you hit a button and your character, a magic weapon disc thing, pops out of ethereal land. Your other magazine gets pulled out, thrown away, and the thing gets reloaded. Basically, they just made your hands invisible and hit a button and the animation plays of the thing going in the cartridge. Horrible. It would have been so cool to like fucking take a mini nuke out of your shoulder, plop it on, pull this handle, and then fully send a fucking nuke. It could have been really cool. Same thing with like the numerous weapons of like pulling back a bolt action and doing that. And I don't think there's that many lenses in which you would need to do that, especially if they got really clever, like Boneworks, where it's just like you get your magazine kind of close near the place it needs to be, and then it like locks you into the animation. That would have been easy, or great. It would have been like less work, I think. That and just the overall like utility aspects of everything is really fucky. And yeah, it's annoying. It's like one of those things where, like, to me, it could have been so good. It could have been so good. Like the feeling of, because in Skyrim you got magic, in Fallout you got like weird big boy weapons, like a Gatling laser, like holding on to that and like just ripping everything to shreds. None of that really exists in VR for Fallout VR. And I was really hoping that eventually someone would go back and fix it. And of course, there's always modders doing too much work where like they're trying to piece together like doing that, but it's kind of impossible because you need intrinsic code to build off of, unless you're willing to have some sort of giga fucking crazy script extender guy who makes a formula, which is extremely hard to actually change the code of the game. And yeah, it's frustrating. I wish out of all the things I wish that they would like do. I know people want like another Skyrim DLC or something. I think that would be the one thing that I would like them to fix, because it's so bad. It could have been so good. Again, my biggest thing that I hate within games is lost potential, and that very much feels like a part of that. But yes. Let's catch up on chat all the way before we jump into the next encounter, so that I don't stop rambling so much. Red says, yes, sexy Asian blade specialist. Yeah. She seemed like the one that was, I think, there's an argument for Sam B being really good. Because of just like he's consistent essentially, but I will say I think the best character in the game was the sexy Asian lady as well, specialist, blade specialist. But I will say that quickly, when Riptide came out, I don't know anyone who's better than John, because John, he can always kick people. Basically, John had one ability that was the most immediately made him broken, because you needed a weapon. John had an ability where you run, and they did such a good job with like Dead Island 1. And Dead Island, all of them, and then Dying Light 1 specifically. Both of those games had really good physics engine where like if an enemy or if a zombie like fell down and they kind of hit their head hard, their head would like pop because they're like smashing their head on concrete or something, or like you pushing someone into a wall and their rotten flesh heads are gonna just combust. Anyways, John had an ability where if you ran at an enemy and then you hit the kick button, you would basically like fucking Spartan kick them like 5 feet, and you would almost always kill them when they impacted. So it was just so fucking fun. Also, it was just so satisfying. Oh, I want to go play Dead Island again. But it was so satisfying to like run up to someone and kick them in the chest, and then just get lunged essentially. And you could increase the force generation of John. So like John wasn't bet on like sharpness or blunt. His whole thing was like force generation, because he played with brass knuckles. And most brass knuckles have impact, so impact would just get magnetized. So you do like an uppercut and like send a person 6 feet back. John was like the most, if you wanted to feel violent, which, you know, the boy kind of, he was the best. It was the best character. I guess violence is described by some people by like obliterating someone, which the Asian girl could like slice up people. But John could like, you'd have fun obliterating. It wouldn't be like, I immediately decapitate my enemy, skill, It'd be like, I punched this person so hard their head popped like a grape, and then I bent down, or I knocked a person down, a zombie, like a special zombie. I knocked them down, and then I proceeded to like lean over on top of them and just start wailing on them, and their head goes bang, 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 bang. It's just crazy. Fluff, you definitely should go play Dying Light at some point. We might do in like to prep for Dying Light, the new Dead Island. Sorry, I keep saying Dying Light. The new Dead Island. We might go back and play that, because I imagine it's pretty cheap. Yeah. Well, thank you, Fluff. To clarify, Fluff says, I don't get a positive adrenaline rush from playing. Me neither. I still bring myself to play Alan Wake due to the odd phobia I seem to have. What is the phobia again, Fluff? I remember you telling us something about this. Remember, this sounds familiar, the whole Alan Wake thing. Also, what do you think about the sequel? Fluff says, rather... Ooh, what happened? So Alan Wake is being entirely a shadow figure. Oh, right. That was the thing. Nah, it makes sense. Yeah, the shadowy figure. Right. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Interesting. I wonder if, like, when you were a kid, they had like a traumatic thing that happened with a silhouette of someone, you know. Red says, I love your description of that character. The sexy lady, Asian lady. Fluff says, I wound up going for Sam B on PC. I think I tried playing Logan originally, but throwing focus wasn't for. Yeah, it was good. I agree. For most people, it was too much friction. I remember I played Logan after and I throwing weapon specialist. Although cool concept, I enjoyed it very much. I often lost my weapon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I agree. Again, and I think in the sequel, like Riptide, I think they tweaked it a little bit to where it was somehow better. Also, Riptide, it's interesting to hear there was a stand. It felt like a new game. Like, it felt like an actual game. It wasn't a game that I remember people talking about, like, oh, it's not, it's like basically the same game, which it's true. It's not a new engine. But I thought it was like enough of a campaign to where it felt new enough. I know. Red says Fluff from the Mirror Edge games and Otto One just damn. Yeah, you're like your sexy Asian powerhouses. Yeah, Faith from Mirror Edge. Yeah. Not Fluff. Faith. Lone says YouTube, the video game teacher of my childhood, and even now as adult, it's still the best video game teacher. What, YouTube? Yeah. Lone says also Death Thirst update. After not playing for like 2 weeks, I went from rank 52 to rank 89. And I even got some good games despite not playing. I did have to unlock did have to knock off some of that rust. Yeah. Well, that's something crazy to me about like competitive games. I wonder how much of the whole like, I'm kind of still in the Overwatch competitive rabbit hole ever since Zebra pulled me in there, that content creator. And yeah, I wonder how much of it is like competitive that it's like it's good, or if it's just like competitive is the like you need to play a lot of games and have a decent enough performance. Because I feel like a lot of it's like that. I feel like the game people who are like ranked number 1, it's about you just playing a fuck ton. Like there might be theoretically a person that's better than them, but they don't have enough time to play, so they're like still in the top 500, but they're not like crazy, you know. That's not quite the same thing, but I get you. Bodhi says, the only edition that are worth buying are usually Games of the Year edition. Yeah, I suppose. I also do think there hasn't been a lot of games that have like. I will say, if I had a hella disposable income, I think most people would say fuck it and like buy. Like I was really tempted by the God of War thing because I just knew it was gonna be like a once in a lifetime game. Not a lifetime, but once in a couple years game. And it's gonna be a while till we get a new one probably. So I was like, I probably should buy this. Although I'm actually kind of hyped that we didn't buy it because you don't get the fucking hammer. Like actually, in hindsight, I'm actually happy by it. If you got the spear, which they can't because that's the most iconic thing. But yeah, that's pretty bullshit. If I don't say so myself. The fact that they're like, the collector edition comes with, you guessed it, Thor's hammer. You see it twice. You see it like 3 times maybe. And God of War never gets it. And they're like, great. Awesome. I know it's supposed to be a counter to the fucking hammer, but still. The axe that Crota has. Where are you? Void Rift. Ooh, I haven't fought him in a while. Lone says, I've never participated in midnight releases, but my first Ultimate Edition for the game depended on what you'd classify as Ultimate Edition of Borderlands. That's a style. You get a big ass crate, don't you? Yeah, I remember that. People got like, you get like a cool red crate, a loot crate. That, again, there are certain ones where like sometimes they do one where it's like you get like a coin or something. And then there's ones where like, nah, you get like a lot of shit actually. You get like, again, I don't regret me getting my Dishonored Corvo mask because it's just iconic. You know what I mean? I do regret that you can't wear it. That's bullshit. I feel cheated. You know what I mean? Same thing with Master Chief one. At least you could wear it. It wasn't comfortable, but you could wear it. I bought the Corvo mask thinking, oh, I was gonna be able to wear this. No, I was not. There's a big ass block in it that says like, don't wear it. I even tried getting rid of it. You can't. It's plastic. It's in there. But he says, Grin, I finally got my motivation to watch a ton of anime. Let's go. What kind of anime are you watching? I watch Bleach, Chainsaw Man, and unbelievably, oh, and they're both unbelievably well animated. Dude, I every time I see Chainsaw Man just looks so smooth, but it also makes me depressed because I feel like when we get to the end of that season, we're gonna be waiting another 3-4 years for another season, where it's like, you know what, it's probably worth it, but Dead Island stream, question mark? Maybe when Dead Island, well, it'll be Dead Island Riptide, to be fair, because I want to play John again. Fuck the other people. But John, I won't play. Yeah, it could be fun. Although, and also it'd be cool to see the contrast between, like, going that to that. I've done a few midnight launches. The most memorable one was when I saw a guy in full fursuit with an Ezio cosplay over it. Was it for, like, a midnight launch of Assassin's Creed? Also, where do you live? That is a happening. The worst dot we had was we had like a crazy line in Skyrim, and some doucher like screamed "fucking nerds" and as he sped off in his car, and we're all kind of like, all right, okay, yeah, different time. I feel like anime people going to conventions also feel me. Different time. Things have changed a lot in the last 7 years. Lone says, you could probably get both Dead Island for $20. Yeah, I don't want the other one though. Yeah, I would just want Riptide. Lone says, well, maybe a bit more of Canadian. Yeah, but yeah, if I could pay, I'd pay $15, maybe $20, yeah, for Riptide. I remember having a good time with it. It's also a big game. Although, man, I really hope. The only thing that worries me about the Dead Island reboot is the skill trees, because I hope that remains juicy, because yeah, a lot of it doesn't. I'm worried that they won't nail that. Wait, are we talking about the Ultimate Edition or Collector's Edition? I'm talking about like anything that you've bought and that has an actual thing that comes with it, I guess. I think usually it's a Collector's Edition. Sometimes it's the Ultimate Edition, whatever. I'm talking about like an object. You bought the game, not just for the game, but for whatever iconic piece that it came with the game. Now, there's a lot of shitty versions of games that doesn't come with a good thing. So yeah. I live relatively close to Beaverton, which is unsurprisingly the furry hub in Oregon. Wow. Wow. Okay. Who would have thought Beaverton of being a furry capital, huh? I love life. It's such a cool happen chance thing. They're like, we'll build it here. We'll do it here. My favorite collectors was probably Darksiders 2's Death Mask. Don't say that. God, yeah. See, there's ones like that where you always regret. You're always like, that was worth it. I didn't do it because, Also, dude, I really hope that we get another Darksiders with the gun guy. I really hope we get it. I think if Darksiders 2 sold enough to where they can produce the next one. Although I feel like that company, I don't know, but I feel like Darksiders did it. I feel like it either is or is going to get bought by Xbox as like a publisher. They're like, yeah, just make those games and we'll pay you. Lone says Chainsaw Man is more timid. High School DxD. Chainsaw Man is more timid than High School DxD. Prove me wrong. Well, yeah, I wouldn't argue any of that. Yeah, but High School DxD is like the definition of a lot. Like, because the main character iconically is a lot. Like Denji it seems like he still has some logic in his brain. You know what I mean? Also, his world is less crazy. He doesn't have a guilty gear, or whatever it's called, a curse gear. I don't know. It's fucking. Okay, yeah. Also, apparently we're getting High School DxD next year, maybe, beginning of next year. It got delayed because of COVID stuff. Chainsaw Man. All right. Also, I don't think I've ever gotten one of those. You never got like a game with a thing, like an object with it. Wow. Weird. I would have thought, yeah. Although it kind of makes sense. You need like, yeah, kind of like, not necessary, but kind of cool. I'm trying to think, yeah. Why can't we get a match? No one's playing this game. Also, I love the best time is 5 minutes and 18 seconds. Surpassed 90 of the Wanderers. Yeah. Like, out of all the games to not... It makes sense because it's whale fodder, but it's out of all the games to not feel like, oh my god, I'm behind. This is the game that you don't feel that. Fluff says, funny enough, my mom was the one that insisted we get the Darksiders 2 Collection Edition. She loved his design and the... Oh, that is so sick, man. That's so cool, Fluff. That's such a cool thing, man. Ah, I'm so jealous. My parents have always been supportive, especially when I got the Skyrim edition. They're like, okay, if you want it, like, yeah. Like, this is your thing. I don't know. If you care about it, sure. But that's awesome, because that to me, for anyone who can appreciate the Darksiders death mask, it's just... Also, it's same thing as, like, there's two masks that I think are the coolest masks in the world. It's not even close. And I like masks, helmets, all that stuff. Dark Souls helmet is close. Dark Souls 3 helmet, pretty iconic. But to me, there'll always be two masks that are the most. One of them is the Darksiders 2 death mask, and the other one is the Slaughterhouse game mask. It's so cool. It's also like the most messy, demonic looking mask ever. It's like the epitome of brute madness strength ever. I love it. You guys should Google that right now because we're waiting. Oh, what the heck? Okay, I guess it just stopped, or maybe I missed it. Match. But yeah, it's called the Slaughterhouse mask. Specifically, it's kind of hard to get a good image of it, but it's so good. It's so iconic. It's out of all the masks that make me want to go back and make masks again. It's on the top of my to-do list whenever I do that, because I will do that eventually. Whenever I get time, which probably will be when I'm 40. Yeah. Connect. What? Why? Why are we not able to? Yeah, they keep saying like there's a connection issue. Well, I guess we'll just look at the sunset then. Nope. Never gotten one. Wow, not even one. I remember me and my dad playing Darksiders 1 and 2. That's awesome. Also, hello. Hello, creature. Okay. What? Did you get startled? Are you okay? I'm sorry I've killed so many of you. I thought you were hostile. No, you're just hanging out. Okay. Yeah, man. I don't have any memories of that. None of my family played games. Well, that's not true. Sorry. None of my parents played games. I have memories of me and my dad and brothers playing Fusion Frenzy. I'm sure you guys remember that. It's quite cute. But I will say I have one memory in my head that's pretty iconic. And it probably is in some ways with my deep love for Fable. But the first, I don't think I ever told you guys this really, but I had a huge issue. Ooh, a huge issue playing video games when I was younger, because of my hands, basically. So I never had the confidence to play a video game because I just thought it was insurmountable. Like me to hold a controller and to click all these buttons, crazy. Also, for me to handle this much input, crazy. Also, I was never really good at them when I was a kid. My brothers were always better than me, all that stuff. So I never really got into games until later. I still played the occasional game, tried to, like, any game that was very easy and that I could play on easy and that wasn't very difficult, I'd play. Like Ratchet & Clank, I just turned down the difficulty, or I would just get to it, essentially. But anyways, I basically was very limited, or perceived myself as being very limited when it comes to games. So I have a memory where I remember going down to our basement. We just got a new house, and we went down to the basement. My brother was playing this game called Fable, and it's funny because my brother always plays evil characters. I always play good characters, and I would sit there on this yellow crate that they hold like bottles in. You know what I mean? Like the old crates that are small, just like a box where they put like Coke and stuff in there, bottles, and they sit there and set them down. And I would just sit there and watch him play for hours, and the music and everything just made me fucking melt, man. And it'll forever be one of those games I love so much, probably because of this memory of, like, it was one of the things that me and my brother are connected over, I guess. And also, I just, like, as a person who, like, when you don't think something is possible for you, you value it more when you see it done. I guess that makes sense, you know? Like, to me, it almost becomes more special, like, when you're, especially my brother, like let me hang out and watch, which was never the case before, you know? And yeah, it was just one of those things where to me, I will always love Fable, and for many reasons, but that probably is a big component why. It's just because of the being able to sit back and watch it when you didn't really think you could play games, you know? So you still got to experience a game. It's basically like I basically experienced a Let's Play. And for me, as a person who never really believed he could play games at the time, yeah, it was like being able to experience a thing I never thought I'd be able to experience, because I don't want to tell my friends, can you play a video game for me? Like, it's weird. Which is also why I loved Let's Play so much, you know? Anyway. It was ACO, because AC game, at least it was on canonical then. The fursuit, just, yeah, some baggage. Or bonuses. What's good, Roderick says, off topic, but I finally beat Let It Die after taking a huge break, because that made me so mad, and you helped me through it. Watch all your videos and everything. Thank you so much, Roderick. I hope you play some other games too, man. What do you call it? There's a lot of other good challenging games. Elden Ring's fantastic. You're looking for more of a challenge. Death verse, people talking up a lot too. But that's amazing, man. The fact that you beat that's incredible. It's all you. I don't deserve any of that credit. All you. What is that person doing? Oh, that person's got maybe probably C6 actually. They got a hella leveled up character, but it looks like they're laggy as hell. That's amazing to hear. Also, I was gonna say something. I forget. Oh, what do you call it? Lone said, like Fallout 4 has VR. I literally, Lone, I said the identical same thing. I was like, what? Hell yes. Because that sounds awesome to me. Like Skyrim, being able to blast magic out of your hands, that sounds pretty cool. But also, these people aren't even playing, dog. This is what sucks. When you get match made by people who aren't even playing. But yeah, I didn't even know that it also had the VR until I looked into it and I realized, oh, this is why no one talks about it. It's because it's a horrible VR port, which was a little depressing because, you know, you'd hope. Let me climb up here and I'll ask for fire. This person says, we need what? I only need fire. And I will give away the rest to random people. There. We're still missing a key, which I have no idea where that would even be. Right. We were just here. Where the fuck is the key? Defeat Steel Lizard. Oh. Oh, I didn't know we needed to defeat a thing. I've never killed an enemy, like, actually, to, like, yeah. I think that's what we need to kill right there. What is this guy doing? I feel like we just got partnered with bots, which is unlucky. Yeah, that person is definitely running some sort of script. Anyways, we're ready to rip. Oh, we also get to collect all the things. Nice. What's good, Dill? Dill says, I like your streams. Can I see my family now? What? Excuse me, Dill? I'm not holding you against your will at all. Although, I do appreciate you being here. Maybe that's what you mean. Alright, obligation. Also, ooh, there's another one of the Tifa skins. Showing a lot of skin. This, and dodge, and that, and big blast. Dodge again. Oh, no, I fucked up. I lost my little orb. How you been though, Dill? It's been a little bit of time. What are you currently playing? Also, I asked the chat this a while ago, but what was the first collector's edition you ever bought? And oh, ooh. Lone says, hey, Grin. I didn't, oh God. Oh God. Oof. Thank God for the, oh no, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead. Can I help? Could you help me a little bit? I am not doing well. That person's not even here, which is just immensely frustrating that they're like, yeah, I'm just going to queue in a game, and then eventually, yeah. What happened? What happened? Whoa, GG's. Did they kill it? Or did we all break? We won somehow. Don't know what that was, but huh. Oh, but Lone says, "Hey Grin, I didn't tell you this, but I got my first commission for some a few days ago to draw something for Snow. What was it? That's amazing, man. Both you and Red popping out. I'm not sure if Red's still here, by the way. I wanted to mention this real quick. What do you call it? Red. I was going through. How do I put this into words? I was basically trying to get a Tower Fantasy thumbnail for Lynn. I basically just started aggregating some cool like images of Tower Fantasy just to put in thumbnails. So I typed in Lynn, and then I typed in Lyra, and sure as shit, I see this like weird like lighting version of Lyra, like a weird 3D model version of Lyra, all black, and I was like, oh fucking no way. Did I actually get suggested in like the Google image search thing of Lyra, of like your mod essentially? Because I looked into it and I was like, oh, this is totally like, what do you call it? Elden Ring with Lyra, this mod that you made. And I looked into it and I was like, is this you? And I clicked on it and I went through it and it's like, nah, somebody made a retexture of your mod and made it all black essentially. And then and he gives credit to you. I clicked it and it's like, the original author is here. Go do that. Clicked it, went there, bang. Took me to your page, and I was just like, God damn, that's crazy. Maybe it's like YouTube, but cookies can tell you that I've been there before or whatever. But yeah, I was thinking that I don't think so. I think that's legitimately like Google search engine. There's just like nobody who made a Lyra mod for Elden Ring, which it admittedly is very specific to a niche. but the fact that shit's popping up just when you type in Lyra is pretty fucking huge. Well, it's unfortunate that it's not your mod. It's this fucking guy who made a reskin of it, a goth version of it. But still, kind of awesome. Kind of awesome. Well, no, I'm super curious, by the way, Lone, of what kind of commission you got. I hope it's not TLDR. Like, yeah, I hope it's not too big of a deal to let me know. If it is, it's okay. Just tell me. It's not. It's fine. It's fine. Rez says, the Lyra all black version was a mod I gave permission for them to do. So yeah, it is my mod. Just a retake. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I always wonder how does that work in the modding community, Red? That's a question I've always wondered about, which is how. Yeah, like, do they have to give you credit? Do they have to reach out to you and be like, hey, I'm using your assets? Yes. Does Nexus have like a pretty big ban window of you being like, hey, this guy took my mod. These are my elements. Get rid of his mod. Or is it all like respect driven? So like if you you'll just be known as that fucker who's stealing people's creation and tweaking it. Well, yeah, I wonder what it's like. Rose petals. Go to your rose petals. I still haven't been to the new area yet. I think I'm going to try to progress through the story right now. Well, no, we'll do Bygone Phantasm. If we have any more time, we'll progress through the story a little bit. Because I need to get to our companion that everyone has but me. But we've done all of our busy work in the game. So well done, me. Oh, my nose. We do have resin, but I think I'll just slap down beacons because I can't be fun. Well, maybe. What do we have today? I don't think today is a day we need to do the thing, right? Nope. Today is not the day. Although, man, I've yet to get I've been doing the max difficulty of these, and by doing, I mean getting carried. And I still haven't gotten shit. I got one matrice. Not one. And I'm just like, fuck off. Anyway, sorry. It's annoying. Nexus has permission settings you can customize for people to view so they know if they can use your assets. with or without your permission, and with or without crediting the author, it's robust. Good. Yeah, I was about to say, it's cool that Nexus seemingly hasn't slept on their laurels quite a bit. Like, they've been in the scene for a long time. And the fact that they're still kind of like, yeah, there's like, I was worried when the creation kit stuff was going to happen, or not creation kit, sorry, the Bethesda weird fuckiness of like paid for mods and like Steam having their own workshop. That I was like, I don't know, man. Nexus seemingly is like way ahead of all of you guys, to the point where like it's way easier to see. And I think Nexus, I'm not sure, back when I was modding, which is a long time ago, or got into modding Fallout, I think it was. The only thing I was hoping that Nexus would eventually do with their launcher is be able to tell you when there's a critical confliction. So when your game crashes or when something's not like loading in properly, it could tell you that this file is in conflict with this one. I don't know how hard that would be to do, and maybe they've added that, but that was the one thing that to me was missing from a lot of the from the Nexus thing, because a lot of times it'd be troubleshooting. Like, you load the thing, did it work? No, it's conflicting. God damn it! You load it again. You put it in a different folder, different layout. I'll be honest though, I was literally just throwing shit into a folder and it worked out with a lot of the mods I did, because they did such a good job at automating most of it. Lone Ticket says, no, it's nothing like that, Grin. One of my coworkers saw some of my artwork and told her kid about it, and her daughter asked, can he draw me something? So she calls the work phone and asked for me, and asked how much I would charge for a commission. What do you say? What do you say? Because that's tricky. That's one of the hardest things, is to sell yourself or to sell your talent. You know, most people undersell their stuff, but also you kind of need to undersell your stuff when you're just starting out until you have a portfolio of like, here's what I've done for other people. And when you have like, there's something human about like, hey, 15 or 20 or 50 people. Most people don't go buy 15 pages of other commissioned work. But even just you see so many people purchase this thing, you're kind of like, hey, this is like consistent performance, and this is, I'm not the only one who's interested in this person, so of course they have a lot of people coming to them because look at all these commissions. And yeah, it's funny how the brain works in terms of marketing in that way. That's amazing. Lone says, and asked how much I would also, how do they see it? I'm curious. How do they see your art? Red says, all of my mods are free for people to use as they wish. I don't restrict anything. Better for the community. That, yeah, absolutely. But I do appreciate the fact that it does seem like there is some, yeah, like there is some sort of like, hey, would you mind if I did this? You know, like I do. To me, you're the same as me. I prefer the fuck it, do whatever you want with what I create. You know what I mean? As long as you're not like ripping it off completely and like just uploading it again, then I'm fine. As long as you tweak it even the slightest bit, it's yours, or a different twist on yours. To an extent, I think that's appropriate. I do think there's a good argument for like people who like clipping channels. I do think it would make the most sense if you do plan on making content of your streams for you to do a revenue sharing thing, which I always wish YouTube would do. Like, I wish revenue sharing was the like, this video is claimed by X, you know? Fluff says, all right, I gotta go get some sleep before work. Y'all have a good one. Thank you so much for stopping by, Fluff. Also, love the little piece. Little weird green piece, or purple man piece. I told her over the phone it would depend on what she wants. So Monday that they pasted, she bought her daughter. Oh, so okay. She brought her daughter to the job, and she sat next to me, and told me what she wanted. Then I told my coworker. Oh, okay. Okay, so I see. So she basically was like drawing the outline of what she was wanting from it, and then you kind of were like, okay, all right. And did she ask anything, Lone, for you to create that is something that you are like, okay, I'll have to go learn that, but yeah, I can do that, which I hope is a reply. It's always like, never like, no, I can't do that. It's, if you're willing to wait, I could quickly learn on how to do this and make what you want. I always like that idea in business a lot of times, where it's just like, oh yeah, I could do that. And then you immediately pause and then like spend like 3 weeks or 3 nights doing nothing but researching this thing that you said you could do and then doing it really well. All right, let's play video games. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, how far? Well, I think we can do pretty okay with Bygone. We just need to chip away at it. Sneak some levels. How do you sneak some levels? Next floor, jump a level. Oh, I didn't know you could jump a level. Oh, is that something that you can do, like... You can just keep jumping levels? So if, like, you get to, like, floor 206, can you go, like, next week 207? Or is this just gonna say, like, no, you can jump a level, but if you basically don't get the rewards until you can complete the right level, so you have to go back. I don't know how that works. I've never done this. Everyone think about it, love. Yeah, I'm still curious. What did she want you to draw? Was it like a character, or was it like her, or was it a like a design for like a shop? Like I'm curious the context of it. Also, how old was the daughter? Because I think it'll help me gauge on what she kind of. I guess not. People could be into all kinds of things. But yeah. Do 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 do. Let us get all of these enemies grouped up. No, don't dodge that way. There we go. This. And we'll just let it build up. Fuck it, let's do this. Dodge. Then this. Go, Lynn! And by Lynn, I mean really it's Ruby. Mainly Ruby. Oh, I don't know why they didn't get pulled into that. Weird. Let's do one of these. A dodge, attack, a dodge, attack, and then this. Habop. And then to round it off, this. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to get much farther. It's looking rough. You have a little faith, all that. I mean, we still have like, oh yeah, minute 40, so I think we're fine. But I don't know how, you know, when you like nuke something immediately and they're like, oh my god, now I can get so far. Although I guess you'll sometimes get enemies that are super weak to what you do, fire-wise, you know. Easy breezy. I draw for $17, but she looks surprised, saying, no, I'm gonna give you more than that. Give me a pep talk about how I have a wonderful skill which I couldn't process. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Oh god, I got a second-hand joy from that. That's a beautiful thing, man. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a really amazing thing too. Also, yeah, I was about to say $17 is, yeah, that's like, yeah, value for like the amount of time that would take. Versus like, yeah, that's, you need to, yeah, sorry, like basically you're working for like 5 cents essentially an hour, which is gonna take you a long time to probably make that. But no, that's awesome to have. And again, you won't always have that, which is cool that you met an actual genuine person to help scale, which is why you should try to process that as much as you can loan. Because you sometimes won't meet those people for years and you're like underselling yourself immensely. Also, there is such a thing to you. Basically, like, this is something that always made me feel better about life in general. But there's so much to people that is, you basically set the standard for how a lot of things go. So, like, if you're nervous, oftentimes people will be nervous. If you're embarrassed about something, oftentimes what happens, people will acknowledge that you're embarrassed and kind of feel self-embarrassed for you. Whereas if you feel like you're like, no, this is nothing to me. Or like, it could be a big deal to you, but I'm fine with it. That also radiates into the other person, and they're like, okay, maybe it's not as big of a deal as I thought. You know, maybe you haven't done XYZ. Maybe you haven't dated in 3 years, but to you, you're like, I don't know, I didn't really have the time, I didn't want to. And then your partner's like, or then the person you're going on a date with is like, I guess it's, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, you know, but if you were like, yeah, I'm a little worried, I haven't actually been, yeah, like, you already, even just me doing it, I can already feel the other person starting to like steep into the story that you're telling almost. So, and a lot of people will conveniently, like, if you don't estimate your skill or value properly, not overestimate, not underestimate, but properly scale what you're doing for others, that's to me a big thing. So her daughter wanted me to draw a present, Mick, for my hero. Oh, I see. Oh, present of my, okay, for my hero, in a colored pencil, as the medium on my large paper with yellow as the solid color background. Okay. Yeah. The mic guy who's like screaming into the mic all the time. Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I hope you'll show it to us in the Discord. I can't wait to see what that would look like. Yeah. Also, I wonder how I'm curious about your experience with this. Keep me updated, because I wonder if your experience, because it's different, I think it's different for art. Maybe. My experience when creating something for someone else would have been probably extremely gratifying and enjoyable. But the thing that fucked up is that they kept asking me to tweak stuff, which was terrible. So it's one thing to say, like, this is what I want, can you do this? And you're like, yeah. And then you do it, and the transaction's complete. If you deliver what they wanted, you're good. It's another thing when they're like, well, actually, that didn't look as good as I thought it would. Can we do this instead? And you're like, okay. It's a little harder to deconstruct what I did, but okay. You do it again, and you're like, good. And then there's another thing. And they're like, okay, it's 2 things now, and 3 things now, and eventually, honestly, after the second one, you're fucking pissed. After the second tweak, you're like, fuck off. It's not my fault you don't know what you want, okay? Yeah, but yeah, that was my experience, but it's definitely different, I think, the experience of making something for others, though, and then you just making something for yourself, which it's different in a good way and a bad way. I think it depends. Sometimes you can be excited to, like, earn the approval or earn the dollar that this person's seen in you. And then there's another version of that which is less good, which is like, this person's significantly undervaluing how hard it is to do this shit, or even just how much time it takes. It's usually not difficulty, because eventually skill becomes easy, but it's usually the state of time that it takes to give to something. And again, you're like, it sounds weird, but at the end of the day, you do need to there's 2 metrics you should really scale your life by, and it's your enjoyment of a thing and the amount of time and money it takes to do that thing. So if you're like gonna starve, fuck your dreams, you need to live, okay? You need to figure it out for a little bit until you can balance out and get back to what you can enjoy, but you need to balance those out. Yeah. Oh yeah, Sam, yeah, the mic guy, yeah. Red says, I've gotten that too, Lone. I said my price, and they offer more. Kind of surprised. Yeah, but you guys gotta be careful with that. I mean, you never should be like over, like, whatever your estimation should be. Honestly, I say fuck it. I say absolutely do not trust the demon voice in your mind, okay? Go look at what the average cost across the board. There are metrics, there are sites, there are everything that will tell you the metrics in which this costs. Then you go into it, all right? But don't, for the love of God, let your mind parasite brain say, oh, you deserve maybe $2, trash, garbage, we're the worst. Don't listen to that. Just go with data, okay? Go with data and look at what people consistently pay for XYZ effort, skill, and yes. Don't trust yourself. Don't trust yourself. Find out the thing, and then maybe if you want to be humble, go 1 notch below, all right? Also, yeah, in Red's case, like in art case, that's a really cool thing, especially so close to a person to do that for such a little amount. Also, like $70 is nuts for doing like a whole image for you. But in Red's case, it's notorious that sex or fetishization in any way, even if to you it's not sexual, to other people that have, maybe even it's not even sexual, it's just a proclivity to want or be interested in this said thing, sells extraordinarily well. So like, because this person can't get this from any other place, so they're asking you to create this said thing, i.e. weird Lyra in Elden Ring, which is awesome. But Red, I love you, but that's a little, it's a little like, why Elden Ring? But also fucking awesome. I love that people are fucking weird and freaks. But yeah, it's one of those notorious things. For art commissions, I've seen the average of 25 to 4. Oh, depending on, yeah. I mean, for me, man, for my emotes cost $60. Now, granted, they had really good lighting. Also, I think I don't have it in me to like say, can you redo this? Because I just know how bad it is to feel, how bad it feels. To be like, okay, now I'm on the hook for doing this over and over again. So yeah, my emotes that we got for the channel, which I like a lot, and they were to my specific desire, so I will not say like it wasn't a waste, but they cost $60. I think maybe even more than that. Maybe it was like 70 or 80 actually. But regardless, we got a hell of a lot of mileage out of them. And they did like this really cool like a lighting effect on them to where like they look just, it's weird. Using a lot more layering and filters and such, there is such a goddamn powerhouse thing in all of this stuff with like layering and filters and lighting. If you're able to like understand those things, you will exponentially increase the quality of your product, like to a silly degree, which I never really gave much credit to, but goddamn, especially lighting and art is so good. It's a good way to make your art look like it's good to, oh my god, it's great, which is why I like the whole digital art so much, is because it's seemingly a lot easier to do that. You just like download a shadow pack essentially, and it has like the perfect gradient lighting to make things pop, which is good. Red says, no, I'm saying, for example, I offer $30 for my service to make a mod for them, and instead they offer me $60, which is what surprised me. Yeah, no, that's what I mean though, Red. That's what I'm saying. Like, sorry, I'm not sure. I maybe didn't convey myself properly, but in regards to like anything in which you are doing that is even in remotely that realm, anything custom immediately to me goes exceptionally up. The only thing that sucks about art, specifically like drawn art, but that's why like Lone actually is doing good, because she asked for a specific like pencil drawn, which is more of like a grounded, unique piece of yeah. But yeah, that specifically does really well. Because it's unique, but my point is that in the art domain, there's a lot of people who went to art school, and they're like, unless you're like clever and you're like game design or like graphic design or working for Disney, like unless you have some sort of gauge of like, this is the way my art will translate into money or value to a company, then there ends up just being a lot of art students who are like, oh my god, I drew 33 years of my life and I still have no job, you know. Which is why I loved when Derp, came in here and she was saying that she's been like an incredible artist, incredibly unique creation that she's been making for a long time. But when she finally came in here and she was like, I really like code design, like games, video game basically, like creating video game digital art. So then she said, fuck it, I'm going to go into courses, I'm going to learn up all about this stuff, I'm going to customize my character. And I'm like, that, like, you're taking a skill and an art, literally, and convert it into a point of value that is almost unrecognizably valuable for years to come. Like, everyone's gonna need a 3D model of a creature, of a thing, of whatever. CGI is only becoming more prevalent. AI is probably gonna take everyone's job, but still, it's still solid, you know. And again, same thing with Red, like going beyond and being like, oh, well, what if I produce content for a specific group of people in like a freelance market, which is exactly like, you know, mods. Specifically for games that don't have enough attention, which in that case is Elden Ring. Like, there's, maybe it's just me, and like because I do so much R&R research and recon stuff about data and like success and all these things, I notice these patterns, and to me it's refreshing when I see people who are on the right, who are following the commonality or the pattern that I've seen so many other people chart in different places, but in a similar enough way to where I think it would sequence in the same success rate. Yeah, I get hyped. Red says, and that one time I got 100 instead. Crazy, yeah. They just wanted ass physics, which was easy enough to add, yeah. Wait, so sorry, Red, I'm confused. Did they ask you for Lyra, and then they're like, can you give some jiggle physics? And you said yes, and then they bumped it to 100, or did they only want, like, could you give like Elden Ring? No, they had to have done that. I don't think that would have worked the other way. Then being like, hey, could you have ass physics and Elden Ring? Also add Lyra. Yeah, it had to have probably been the other one. Which, by the way, yeah. Also, Red. Oh, goddamn, Red. I wanted to give you a shout a little bit right now because I got to explain. But long story short, Red, because I went down the rabbit hole of like, I seen this Lyra mod that I knew was Red's. It was a third-party guy made this retexture of the color scape of it. And he credited Red. I went to his profile and I was like, oh, there's Red, all of his content that he made. But fucking shout out to our boy Red being like next level shit. I love it so much, because when I went to that goddamn mod page, I've been in the modding community for a good bit. Always you see people who are like, hello, just text on the screen being like, hey, this is my mod, it does this, this is what we're doing. This is how we're dealing with it. And then, of course, you go to Red's page, and there's, like, GIFs of, like, the coolest images of this thing, showcasing the angle, showcasing that jiggle fit. It's a whole thing. And I'm just like, that's it, baby. That's it. That's why you're making money on this shit. That's why. It's because you made it easier to digest, immediately know what it does, and also show a good representation. That's on the front page of that. That's the first thing that people see. That's the first thing that's going to resonate and impact. That's the pattern that I've seen constantly. It's just that little bit of time, that little bit. You even said that, like, oh, it takes so much time to queue up everything and download files. But that's the difference between that and everything else, man. I got so excited when I seen that. I was like, yes, yes, this is the formula, baby. Sorry. Ah, man. It's oh shit, what is this? Enemies remaining. Oh, we just gotta kill these things? Okay. I never had the objective come up like that. Oh, that's why. It's because it's a lot. This, jumpy, dodge, and then please connect. Also activate the explosions, and this. Oh! Oh, I can't wait to catch up on chat. I will say, Red says me 100% of PayPal. I'm curious, Red. Wait, I'm sure I'll read the thing and it'll describe all this, but I wonder if it's also conversion of income, because I think PayPal auto adjusts for the person's currency. I'm sure you guys would have talked about that beforehand, but maybe, like, I know, like, it's one of the things that for YouTube where it's like surprising because the Canadian dollar is less than America, but we get paid out in America. It's actually making more money. I imagine it's the same people who work for Fiverr Fiverr. They're like the company that's notorious for, like, oh, you know, you can buy things for cheap, but it's also like because you're theoretically, like, that $5 is like a month's worth of food in some of the countries where these people reside. And people need to eat all over the world, so yeah, you know. Challenge time, yeah, all that. And about dead. No, don't jump away. Fuck it, this. I missed, great. I think we have time to kill. Stop hitting me. Oh no, that shield could, nope. Easy breezy. Digital art is a little higher at 30. Really, I would have felt it would have been less. I would have felt like the digital art would have been less bad because you have so much more crutches. Like, drawn is fucking hurts your fingers and shit. Also, maybe it's just because there's like a culture of quality, maybe, like, or not culture of quality. Basically, like, it's easier to find people who do really good work, which therefore the standard of quality is bumped, maybe. Red says the Lyra mod was a commission for $30. Then another user is the commission just straight up sent me whoa. Okay. The Lyra mod was a commission for, really? That is hilarious. The Lyra mod was just $30. I would have thought it would have been more, man. Maybe people overestimate how hard it is to rig something. But maybe I think you could leverage that. It'd be like $30 for having a, like, it would not have been something that I would have thought easy to do in Elden Ring, to port a image in a Tower Fantasy character person into that game. It did not seem like it'd be. I'm sure there's assets are already out in the, and about, but still. Then another user in the comments just straight up sent me $100 in PayPal asking for ads, and you're like, yeah, done. That's so funny, man. It's also crazy that, like, over time, as you maybe continue to do this, which I'd hope you would, because I love the gamification of this thing. As you go on and do it, maybe you're like, wow, you know, people, like, doing the, like you said, ass physics apparently is not the craziest thing to add, or the craziest thing to, like, do. But this is something that people continually ask for, and I imagine would take my mod where it's just like a normal Joe Schmo, like, you know, retexture of an armor, and bumps it up to, no, this is more than just that, actually, sir. This is a whole ass thing. And it comes with this and that and some of this on top, and also, again, your perfect you show people what they most want to see, what is the most eye candy version of that, which is the things that this thing is doing. Like, again, I remember downloading a mod in Fallout where the person had went above and beyond, where like if I didn't watch a video where it showcased the mod in action, it would not have been on my radar. But it was basically like he redid it was a double barrel shotgun mod, crazy gorgeous Day of the Dead contrast between silver and dark, carved into the shotgun. You would open the shotgun up and it would have like a different reload animation, is what I'm trying to say. Have a different reload animation, and you would not have been able to know that was what the mod was doing unless you seen the video that the person made. But with you, even just adding those little GIFs that show like, here's the thing, you can pump it up with some text that says like completely new reload animations, unique skin, like all that. If you do that, like, it sounds cringe, but the sales pitch of like, boom, here's the most provocative statement for what this does, brand new animations for reloads, something like that. It immediately takes you this as being like, this is worth it, especially when you're so much of your environment, at least in my experience on Nexus, maybe things have changed, but so many people don't do that. They're like, I put all my work into the mod. And it's funny because I used to be the same way for YouTube content creation. I used to be like, but I put so much of my effort into video. But it's like, it doesn't matter if nobody knows what the video is, or if knows that the context of the video is even worth a damn, which is why thumbnails are so important, you know what I mean? Anyways, thank you for letting me ramble. Lone Sick says, hell yeah, Red, get after it, yeah. Also, with you, Lone, though, I don't mean to undersell what you're doing. That's amazing. I can't wait to see. I always wonder, because I think I asked you guys this a long time ago. I asked both of you guys this, where I was like, well, do you think you'd ever, like, work on, like, making, I think I asked Red this, too. Like, would you ever start to try to sell your thing? Like, what are you trying to do? Because I remember Lone was really getting into drawing and, like, upping the ante and learning all these different things. And I was like, would you ever consider, like, are you doing, like, what are you trying to do here? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, are you going to try to make money, or are you going to try to sell your effort? Like, what? And he's like, no, right now I'm just learning, essentially. Like, I have no interest in any of that. I'm just having fun. I like drawing. I think I said the same thing to Red, and Red had the same takeaway about being like, I just like this. And I'm not sure if it's like the doubt in people's minds of like, well, surely I couldn't be good enough to where people would buy from me, or surely, it's. If I make this a job that I would pursue, it changes it to a certain extent. So I'm just going to keep it at an arm's length before I get into it. But to hear now that some of you guys have gotten that, and maybe you guys will reply with like, no, it would mean nothing to me, or like it wouldn't change my outlook. But I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just my fucked up brain, but if you started to get like, if you started seeing a pattern of success, or a pattern of a commonality of what people like, and would it not be a little bit addicting just to be like, well, what if I did more of what they like? And what if I knew exactly what they would like? And what if I knew how to position that in such a way that people would want more of it and give me more for providing it? Like, it becomes it sounds weird, but kind of becomes like a game. Not in like a manipulative way, but in a game of like, can I give you something that you want so badly, that you pay attention to so much, that is something that people would seek value in? And to me, I don't know. I hope, my worry is that people don't pursue turning a skill or an art or a whatever into a monetary translation, which I get. You don't want to lose the spark of creation for your passion, but I do think it's also a good idea that like people pursue that, because I think when you'll kick yourself for not. I think that's the big thing. I think if you were like, if Lone got a commission, he's like, that felt pretty good and that was tangible. Is there a way that I could set that up to where people could come to me to draw specific things? And is there a way that I could gamify that advertising in a way, make people see my art and make people see what I'm capable of, in such a way that people would consistently see my art and consistently be interested in asking me to provide this. And I think maybe with some people it starts getting not fun, because it's like, oh, it's so much work to set up like a Instagram page or an art station or something like that, where I'm constantly doing this and finding interesting ways to advertise without being annoying and frustrating and a pain in the ass and all these things. But also, I don't know. I feel like there's a party that would grow to like it a lot, especially if you started to succeed. But anyways, enough of my bullshit. Lyra was my very first commission mod, so I was not sure what my price should be. That is just what they offered. I'm still not sure what my price should be. Oh, I think, yeah. Oh boy, Red, I could talk your ear off about, I'm sure you don't care, but I could talk your ear off about scanning an environment, essentially, and finding out what is. It's basically the same thing I'm doing with YouTube viewership, essentially, where we were doing a lot of Tower Fantasy. I like Tower Fantasy a lot, but I couldn't come up with any idea that I could do of the game, which other people weren't doing, which you have no problem with, because you just can. Like, again, the fact that you took, I haven't seen any mod that's similar to, that takes a Tower Fantasy character or any character that has a 3D model that exists, like an Overwatch character, and puts it into Elden Ring. But then it would just be about dedicating like an hour, maybe 2 hours, to jumping around the Nexus and basically not only seeing basically seeing what the baseline of how many commissions there are for a type of content. And then you would go by your category, which was yours. It's like models and armor and whatnot. And you would basically just aggregate as much data as what is the general thing that people are valuing. And then you would try to find in any way you possibly can to gauge. And I'm sure there's like, yeah, like there's somewhere there's like the person's out there's price range for commissions. But it'd take like, it's funny, things take less time than people think. Like it would take 2 hours of you hunting through who are the most commissioned creators in the space, and then going into those specific people's pricing, which you'd go to commissions. Maybe you would ask them, hey, what your pricing is as a potential buyer, and they would tell you honestly, and then be like, okay, I'm not interested or whatever. And yeah, you just try to aggregate little points of damage, which people think it wouldn't be no time. I think it'd be like 2 hours of work of aggregating that data and then kind of finding the commonality and the price range, the equilibrium between all of those prices, and then just picking that. But also, I feel like you're better off giving a range than a for sure thing. So you can say like my range is anywhere from $60 or $45 to $150 or something like that. And given the thing, maybe 30, I feel like as a person, like, well, you're on the low end, I could still get something out of it. And maybe you're like, yeah, this, because again, I think that would help. I think it'd be the best way to price something out, to say like my range is anywhere from $30 to $150, around there, because they could be like, well, maybe my mod wouldn't take that much money to make. So they tell you your idea and you're like, holy shit. Also, we got kicked. Holy shit. Maybe my mod's not that bad, so I'll ask. No hurt to ask. And maybe when they ask, you're like, that's like an hour of work. That's not that bad at all to do. Okay. That's like that. You can cost benefit analysis that. Maybe you're like, nah, can we do 40? And then, yeah, it sounds weird, but I think that'd be the best range, because I think people would often, with modding, it's weird with like how long something actually takes. And it's hard for me because I don't know how to gauge that in general. But yeah. I kind of do not want to have a fixed price. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to do the 30 to 150 and then just have a conversation about like, well, no, so you're asking me to do something that is going to take a long time and explain the complexity of what's going to take place. And they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. The worst thing you want to do is set your commission to be like, it's minimum $100. And then the person's like, fuck off, what an absolute bullshit. Whereas if your person's like, hey, can you do this for me? You're like, okay, that's a little bit more tricky to do because I got to do this. Therefore, it's going to probably be in between this and this price range. And they're like, okay, after you just told me all the things you're going to have to do, yeah, that makes sense, you know? Whereas you just having a flat, like, this is the minimum thing, it's daunting and too much. But yeah. What's good, Derp? Derp says, bro, we talking about commissions? Yeah, Derp. What do you call it? Lone just got his first commission for some art, and Red has been making some hella good, mods for Elden Ring, which people will be paying him $80 to $100 for, which is the best. Sorry, $30 to $100, give or take. They paid him $100 for jiggle physics for an Elden Ring ass model, baby. Huge. I'm not even kidding. That's awesome. Anyways, what's good, Derp? Also, Derp, I was telling people how absolutely hyped I was when you first told me about the fact that you were taking your art, which was been honed for years and it was very good, and you upped the ante by taking your art and converting it in a way that is almost like consistently valued over time by basically going into the games industry, learning how to do 3D modeling, all those things. Basically taking like, oh, I like art. And like so many art students they're stuck in this limbo of like, I can draw. But like a company doesn't know what that really means besides like you making a logo for them or something. But if you say, I can draw, therefore I learned how to do digital art, 3D modeling, creating characters, creating environments. A company can immediately know what value you're going to give, especially with the industry like CGI getting more and, games becoming only more prevalent, randomly generated things becoming more of a thing. So to me, it was just a really good pivot of like so many art kids kind of end up being like, I went to school for art for 3 years and I don't really know, I have no job, whereas it's like, yeah, because you need to take the skill and the thing that you love and find a way that a business can understand where to put you essentially to make money for them, which I liked a lot. Again, Red is doing so many things well in the whole modding scene. It's a cool test case. I don't have a fixed price since perhaps not everyone can afford it, and I like to be flexible with people, especially if they have a less financially secure. Yeah, well, to me, again, I think also for like just on your end, it makes sense for you to like like you said, like it was to add the jiggle physics to your to the one mod. You're like, it wasn't that bad at all, but it's also important to note that to you it was like, I'm not going to add this to the mod. It's not that like the person didn't ask for it, but and also I wouldn't value that like it's super easy to add, or it's less difficult than people think to add. Yeah, but the commission that you got for the model was $30, but then for the jiggle physics it was $100. So for you, you're like, the thing that is easier I can do easily is way overvalued. So this thing that is extremely valued, but also not that hard to do, this should be something that you add to most of your upcoming models because it just adds way more value. And yeah, also I think if a person's asking like, hey, can you put this model in the game for me? And you're like, yeah, at a minimum I could do it for my time to be say $30. That's what it was for the Lyra mod. But if you wanted to add this, and this, jiggle physics, whatever you call it, different skin, a different color variation, it would become this. Become 150 or 100 or whatever it would be. And that's just awesome. I don't know, to me, I just really like it because to that person, it's like, I could either get what I came here for, or I could get what I came here for, but more. And if you hit the right switch on a person, they're like, I did not even think that was in the realm of possibilities in this video game. Absolutely, could you do that, So I love it. People are weird, and business is fucking awesome and horrible all at the same time. Lone says, I should go full screen. We're just rambling. Lone says, I was doubt probably most likely. Oh, I was in doubt probably. Yeah, most likely. Yeah. Red says, getting paid for this work is nice, but I get more from people being happy with what I am providing to them. Yeah, no, that's a huge element too. But to me, it's one of those things where I think people kind of get too chivalrous in a lot of ways. And also, I don't think people realize that, like, it's almost like, I think people have a natural proclivity to think when somebody gives you a compliment or gives you a compliment, the best reply is it's to be humble. Essentially, it's to be like, actually, you're being far too sweet. I'm not that nice, or I'm not that this. And if you've ever been on the tail end of that, it's nice when a person's like, not like, yeah, I'm the best. Like, that's stupid. But if someone says, if you say a compliment to someone, one of the best things to hear is just a person appreciating the fact that they said something sweet to them or kind to them. Or like, oh, that was the nicest thing I heard all day, essentially. If someone says something sweet to you, or I appreciate that a lot. It's a very sweet thing to say. Like, that is so much more better than hearing, well, actually, you're wrong. I'm not that, no, that's not true. Like, it doesn't resonate as well. So when someone is giving you something, people don't know what to do with people who are just giving goodwill, or like, yeah. So it's not foreign or not odd that a person's like, you gave me something that I didn't even think was possible, and you're giving me such a value that I want to pay you back. Yeah. But again, I do like the fact that, again, it should be a good thing where you get fulfillment and joy from creating something that makes other people happy. But usually those go hand in hand. Like, if you're able to create something that makes people happy and resonates with somebody, therefore people want you to keep doing that, so therefore they pay you to keep doing that, providing them that feeling. Lone Singer says, also, to ask your previous question, Grin, how my coworker say my artwork, I just showed, how my coworker's seen my artwork. I just showed her, I brought up my, you brought up one of your drawings. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. So they asked, and they showed. Nice. That's very sweet. Also, it's good on you to, yeah. For me, for such a long time, man, I hid what I created because I was ashamed of it. I didn't feel like it was good enough. I still kind of have that a little bit. I don't think anyone should lose that, but I do think you should believe in yourself and believe in what you want to achieve. But yeah. For reference, the Lyra mod took me about a week to make and test. The ass physics took less than a day. Yeah. Jesus. Whew. But again, that's the thing to take note of like, if you were to go to a person and, like, again, you could get real clever with this. I love because no one thinks this way, but it's just such a fun idea, especially when, like, I'm not gonna do it, but I could tell you to do it. I know you probably won't do it, but it would be cool if someone did, because I want to know if it actually would work out. But, like, if you have a data point that shows that this person heavily valued physics, we'll call it, within body mods or armor mods, if you were to go to some of the most successful armors that exist within Elden Ring, and you were to go to the person that commissioned this, or even the mod author, and say, hey, could I add XYZ to your art? And this guy could commission me to add this to your thing or something like that. Go to the source, essentially, and say, hey, would you value this for me to do this for your mod or for the thing that you got commissioned? And then I guarantee a lot of people would be like, how much would it be? Like $50 for you to add this? Yeah, sure, I guess. Yeah, like, absolutely. Sure. I feel like there'd be a way for you to do really well. Lone says, speak of the devil. Yeah, we're literally talking about dirt. Red says, my Dragoness mod took me months to make because 4 characters. Yeah, woof. But still, that's good average. Each week you get one done. That's pretty good. It's holding up, like, discipline. Drip says, that, and I also like decorating cakes now, too, and making stickers, because one thing is boring. It's true. Yeah, you got to diversify yourself a little bit. Yeah, lose your mind. Drip says, but right now I am doing 3 commissions for one of my friends. I was lucky to have friends who are into D&D and love to have their characters drawn. Yeah, that's huge. Yeah. That's probably one of the biggest things to figure out. I feel like you do need to do a lot of data research, R&R essentially, and finding out how you make the jump to continually create like a churn rate or a formula in which people can know you commission stuff well. How, like, the best way I can describe it is like, again, for like, it's like subtle things. Like, Red has a mod page, and one of the first things you click on when you click on his mod is GIFs on the front page showing exactly what it does. Like a good 3D back and forth showcase of it, and also the physics that exists within it. And to me, that like takes it to a whole new level about like selling your aspect. And it's something that a lot of people don't do. So to find out the formula or the sequence or the way that you can systematize things, yeah. Red says, did you pick up your free 10 pull in T? How do you do that? Bodhi said this to me last time. How do you do that? Maybe. How do you do it? Is it this or is it this? You said it was in rewards. Oh, maybe then if it was in rewards. Is it this? I guess so. Oh, I'm not even answering my screen. Is it this? Because yes. I got that. Red says, also uploading all of my files from the Dragoness mod took all day. 260 files, a total of 30 gigabytes of data I needed to upload. Woo, it's a lot. Lone says, I'm gonna be like I can draw, which leads me to digital art. And I learned different skills to the point where I can draw the most voluptuous and soft, beautiful anime women. And then even more voluptuous, soft pair of... yeah. Hey, you're in a very lucrative market, okay? Derp says, my thing is soft and sad girls. When I draw men, TikTok doesn't like it. Well, that kind of makes sense. Unless you really, I think, adjust yourself to fuckboy culture, I feel like you can. Because there are definitely those weird, cringy TikTok things that some people are into. Again, most of the times you need to delve into a weird fetishization of some sort of thing. And then people are like, that's my thing, let's protect that. And you're like, okay, I guess I'm here now. I guess I'm making a weird dom art for teen girls. Weird, ugh. Anyways. Red says, did you put that? Scroll down. Oh! There it is! No, I missed it. Oh my god, I would have completely missed that. Thank you so much, Bolty and Red. Bolty told me first, I had no idea. Let's go! Lyra, come home! Please! How much do we have now? Of course they give it to you when there's the fucking banner going on for what's your name. We have 17. I feel like we should have more. Huh. I feel like we're missing, yeah. Anyway, we have 17 wishes, boy. In fact, we might have more because I haven't looked at my achievements in a millennia. Also, I don't think I've upgraded my suppressor because I can't. That's why. Okay. Where is the ting? Terminal, backpack, suppressor. That's a terminal. Achievements. Could I just collect them all and be set free? Nope, I just got little tiny bits. Little giblets. Weapons. Exploration areas. I've got 300 wishes. Do you automatically convert like a lunatic, Red, or are you holding back? You just do the math of like, okay, no, if I have this many dark matter, I can pivot it to that and this and this. What is good, Max? Max said, hey, Grin, I just woke up. What's good, Max? Max, I apologize, but we're going to wind down because your boy got to go eat in 10 minutes. And then I'm going to work on editing this giga-big video of goofiness. I really wish they had a claim all button. It's funny though that that Derp is like, my thing is sad, soft girl. So, why did you have to mention soft? But okay, all right. You like what you like? All that. I was gonna say there's an anime that was like a serial killer and like a blonde girl. Yeah, I thought that came to mind. Alone says, I'm never ashamed of what I draw, cause I believe in my purpose and what force of nature out there has to say about it doesn't matter, cause I'm keep doing what I do. One of my purposes is to draw. That's a very insightful thing, especially to know about yourself. I cannot say I'm the same way, Lone. I feel like I have a critical brain that's very mean a lot of the time. It takes a lot for me to not hold back and just be proud of what you're doing and what you're making. Like I wanted to mention it. Actually, I wasn't sure if I should mention it. I was hoping that, I think it was just this. Oh god, we're getting lit up by something. I was hoping that it was just this, but basically I was, we streamed yesterday, or no, we streamed Tuesday, and I was feeling a little off already that day, but it was, we were streaming VR, and we were having a good time. I was having a fine time, I was drinking a Red Bull because I didn't have enough time to make coffee because I kind of just ran at the stream. I was like, oh shit, we have to stream. And that always doesn't feel good. You always want to be like, I get to go stream in 20 minutes. I'll get everything set and I'll be ready to rip as soon as we hit go. Which I like. But when you're kind of like, oh fuck, I'm behind, shit. Okay, I'll get that going. I'll get this going. You kind of start in a frantic way, which at least to me doesn't feel great. But I don't know what it was, if it was like the energy drink I was having, but I had like I'm not sure if you guys noticed. I'm pretty good about people don't pick up on a lot of this shit, but I had like a stupid big wave of depression, not depressed, that's too much of it. I just basically got like all of the serotonin felt like it sucked out of my brain the last 30 minutes of that stream where we were playing Half-Life Alyx. It was bad. I never felt like just immediately so fucking like, woo. I don't know if it was a mixture of like the motion set, and I think I knew what it was. I think it's that. Just on the topic of what we're talking about right now, I kept having a thing of like, I'm not doing enough. I'm not talking enough. I'm not saying enough. And you kind of get stuck in like a feedback loop of like eating yourself up, chewing yourself up a little bit. Before the stream, I was like, no, I don't care what happens. I'm just gonna enjoy my experience, because I think somewhere along the lines, if you truly want to be good at something, you have this critical person that's like, you have this critical version of yourself that's saying, well, we could do this better theoretically, and that's the nicest way to put it. Oftentimes it's like, this is shitty, this is dumb, why aren't you doing this, this is flawed, and that can corrode you over time. But yeah, one of the things that to me is always brings me back to baseline, which actually I have the best time is like, well, just forget about all that and just have fun, relax, let go, don't think about anything, and just enjoy your experience. And yeah, but it's sometimes it's easy to forget. I guess it's easier to forget to that point. But yes. But yeah, it's weird that like sometimes I need to be reminded when streaming to stop and make sure I'm having fun, because I do want to make sure you guys are having a good time, and then of course when I overthink about what you guys are doing, it just fucks up my performance and us hanging out and having it. Yeah, so it's all bad when that happens. But also, if one of you guys were like, Grin, don't forget to have fun. Well, actually, I would be fine hearing that. If someone says, Grin, you're not having fun, I'd be like, fuck off, I'm having fine time. You know? So yeah. Lone says, I'm never, oh right, I read that, keep it up. Yeah, it was to keep it up, Lone. That's a great way to think. I shouldn't say that I don't love, like I love what I do, I love what I create, but it's the difference of, like, I know I love what I create, but the feeling of being able to like completely brand what you've made is different in a weird way. Not anymore. I've no longer really feel this way, but I do kind of still feel this way. Like I still feel like I've recently made these. Let's go deep for a minute, because I just talked about Red, about what he could do to have fun with this weird modding thing. So it's not fair for me to say all that but not have anything to come back to. For me, one of the things I've heard consistently when it comes to starting a new channel and when it comes to YouTube and when it comes to making videos is the hardest thing that you're ever gonna do is basically show YouTube who your videos are made for. And if you can show who they're, because that's what the algorithm is basically trying to do. It's trying to find out what your channel is trying to achieve and where it's trying to go and what it wants it to do and all these things. So it's trying to parse out that. And a lot of people are liars, so YouTube has to do a lot of internal looking at what you're doing. So tags don't really matter, title doesn't really matter, none of that really matters. What really matters is if people are going to watch and enjoy your video. So what people have suggested immensely when it comes to, like, if you want to start a channel in 2022, what you need to do is ideally make a video that is for somebody, know who that is for, and then go to the place where they are and say, hey, I made this for you. AKA, I'm making VR content that I think a lot of people would actually really enjoy. Especially with the Live, Die, Repeat series that I made. It's to me, it's very satisfying to watch. I sprinkled in some story. I don't know if that resonated a lot, but yeah. But I want, and I know it's a good idea, to take that video and to go into the VR Reddit and be like, hey, I made this video, I think you might like it, etc. Go to the oddly satisfying Reddit, put like, skip to this point, weirdly satisfying, something like that. there's definitely a fine line between self-advertising where it just becomes like nonsense. Like when you go to a YouTube video and you see a person's like, hey, I love you so much, can you subscribe to my channel? And it's like, this is clearly just a copy and paste thing. But if you say, hey, I made this video specifically for this community and this is the hub for the community, I think you might like it. Let me know if you don't and learn from it. But I still find that hard for me. Like, you know, it's hard for me to go into those things and be like, and to say like, hey, look at what I made. Which I don't think is good. I think if there's anything I could do an improvement on, I need to probably work through is that. But yeah, anyways, a little bit too much in my head about that. But yeah, to be fair, that's improvements that I could do. I think would make a big difference, especially with a new channel which has no data on it right now at all. That's also something I regretted not doing with the Tower Fantasy videos. Granted, I still don't think they would have taken off because of I wasn't adding anything new. But yeah. Red says, anything cultured is great. I love it. These pixelated anime women, anime characters in general, but mainly the women. Alone says, Red, just wait till you see some of my ideas I have in store. Ooh, I can't wait either. I've gotten about 300 wishes now. Golly. And Max says, damn, so streaming almost over. A little bit. I'm sorry, Max. I apologize, buddy. Alone says, yep, Max. Red says, 31,000 dark crystals and 90 wishes in my inventory. Whew. Derb says, like round faces and soft girl features. Yokono soft girl. Okay. Huh. I've seen your artwork. I don't know. I haven't really seen your artwork in a minute in terms of, what do you call it? I usually just see your monsters. That's the ones that catch me. Max says, now I should have woken up when my alarm. It's okay, Max. We're streaming. Hey, we're gonna stream tomorrow. We're gonna stream at 1 p.m. And yes, as well. So hopefully then you'll get it. Yeah. And if not, Tuesday, we're gonna be streaming at 5 p.m. Change it up. Yeah, but I say, did you have a lovely sleep at least? Did you catch up? I imagine your body needed it. Red says you should accept your mail in town. Yeah, it's this damn thing. I keep not getting good gear, and in fact, let's. I don't think I still have a good pair of gauntlets. No, well, I have crit and crit here, which might be actually not the worst, but I think I theoretically could get more crit there. But I don't know. I should just buy some gauntlets. In fact, I don't think I even bought my store today. This week, I mean. Currencies, this. You know, I haven't. Trash. My phone is telling me to eat. Also, probably to stop streaming, because, yeah, food. Did I get everything else? I think so. Yeah. I used to grind support points and challenge points. Now I just can't be fucking bothered. I think, yeah. We have a lot. We have 13. Oh, you guys can't even see that. I have 13,000 of this currency. And I just haven't been buying stuff. All right. We'll buy one gauntlet. I don't know why. They've been giving it away in events and I just haven't been using it. And now let's see if that gauntlet is not the worst. Where are you? Did I not buy it? I don't. Where the fuck did it go? Oh, it went. Oh, I don't have any fucking room in my inventory, so it just went to my backpack. Shit. I don't know, dude. Sure, just anything. Well, let's go with the one that we have like a bunch of uncommon stuff. Enhance, advance. There we go. No, the one that has a bunch of schmutz in it. There we go. Pants. Sure, fuck it. Nice pants. Oh, we got fire. Let's go. Again. Sure, we'll do that for now. Oh, fuck it. Eat one more. Go ahead. It's waste. We got physical. Yeah. That's resistance, actually, not the worst. Anyways, let's grab all my garbage then. What is this? Random stats. Claim. We got... Still doesn't tell me. Great. Isn't that wonderful? Ugh. Oh, we got some chest piece here, too? I have not collected a lot of my stuff. Wow. I have max inventory, man. It's not trying to lose anything. Pain in my ass. Oh, we got pants too. I did not pick up a lot of stuff. Shit. Lynn's talking about all kinds of shit. Why can't you just condense it all into one package thing? You know what I mean? That's what she said. Sorry. Weird. Am I grabbing the boots now, or are we in a weird purgatory? Yeah, I thought I missed this as well. Good. I think I'm probably still maxed out on things, but let's see. Any new upgrades? Because I forgot we did also do that today. We got a helmet. Not very good. We got a lot of resistance coming in our helmet, man, though. Okay. Anybody? This is the gauntlet that we got. Not the good. Boots. It's crit. Did that? I already got a lot of crit on here. Well, a lot. Define a lot also. I don't know. Crit, flame resistance, attack, crit, attack. It could be the same thing. Maybe it's all going to go into crit, guys. All going to go into crit. Let's see. Ah. Nope. I'm done. I'm done. We got pants. Pants. We got. Am I blocking? I am. Great. Shit. We got. Flame. Nothing. Nothing good. Although we could use an improvement. No, pants. We got a little bit of fire and a good bit of attack. Could be worse. I'm in copium stage for sure. Also, both of these are horrible and almost the identical same. Great. Armor's been a rough place for me. Anyways. Well. Also, I thought we had a thing that we could have equipped for this. Some sort of like weird chain that we got from something. Maybe we can buy it. Yeah, we did. We do have one of these. Attack, flame, resistance. Let's go with this. Look at that. I don't know what this does. I don't think I have one of those. I thought I got a good version of those too. Like the raid or something. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Oh, let me catch up on chat. And we'll wind down. We'll end it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to eat. But let me catch up on chat real quick. Let me go grab my daily things. There. Nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was more of a podcast than it was a stream. We didn't really, well, we achieved some stuff in Tower Fantasy, but we mostly sat down and talked about Skyrim. We talked about the economy of skill and all that. We also talked about VR things, and how exciting that is. All in all, I had a good time, but tomorrow we will be playing Dark Tide. Also, I am off to go play. No, I'm off to go edit. Edit a lot. But yes. Max says yes, Lum, because I woke up till like 9. Or you stayed till like 9? Jeez. I don't think they stay forever. Talking to my friend, I'm Australian. Oh, I'm in Australia. Okay. Huh. Red says trying to DM you something on Discord, but your settings are prevent explicit content. Oh, it's probably because of what do you call it? Goddamn. We used to do try not to grins, and yeah, people. I didn't want anything sus getting through. I don't know how to change it. Turn off temporary. Do not scan. What was it? Turn off this temp. Okay, what is it? Privacy settings. Privacy settings. Do not scan. Okay. It's open. It's ready to rip. It's not new. Yeah, no, I trust. Yeah, it's fine. Lone says, have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you so much, Lone. Wow. It's not necessarily explicit, but it's not necessarily not a lot. I don't know how to show this. It's not. It looks great for what it's worth. I wonder if there's a way. I think it's fine. There's fucking red. There's sweat physics on it, man. Jesus Christ. Wait, I want to see. Post it in the Discord, Red, on the share your grin tab, please, so everyone can participate in this. And I'll also, guys, if you want to go to Discord, there's a link in the description. It'll literally take you right there if you don't know. But yeah. Jeez. That's what is this for Elden Ring? Because this looks like significantly better uptick in Elden Ring. Like even as far as Elden Ring, like physics go, essentially. Yes, Elden. Yeah, if that has a proper lighting effects and all that stuff on it, that's gonna look crazy. Because a lot of things in Elden Ring look like the mods look still like they're not meant to be there. This still looks a little weird to be in the thing, but still. But no, that looks like incredibly high detailed. Has everyone seen it? And what are your thoughts? Because yeah, I can't believe there are. There's an angle where you can see the sweat physics on a lady. She's T-posing. Does the hair have physics, or is it like coarse, like locked in? It's posted to the share GRINN tab. Okay, people can check it out now. Before we end it, thoughts on this? Okay, which is an Elden Ring mod. I wonder if the hair is gonna have because I feel like with hair that long, it's a whole thing. The hair will have physics, and I imagine everything else probably also have physics. Are you gonna make like a schmexy like Elden Ring inspired jagged armor, like a bikini with jagged fucking spikes on it? I imagine that'd be a little bit much, but I feel like it would probably increase to the value of the mod, where people could be like, yeah, it's immersive, kind of, but like, a little bit. And tail and wings. That's insane, Red. Like I can't describe that enough. How like the stuff that you're doing, there's like maybe 5 Skyrim mods that I remember seeing people do. Maybe Skyrim just doesn't have the engine for it, but yeah, like you're doing stuff that I seen like once in a blue, and they were touted as being like one of the best mod creators ever. So you're learning a lot and becoming really proficient in what you're learning in, which is nuts. I just want to get everyone's reaction. Cultured. Says Red. Sorry, it's not Red. Says Lone. Cultured. Simple, but to the point. I'm not sure if Bolty checked it out. Bolty might have laughed already. Also, I got this thing on my blanket right now. It's because it's so cold out right now. I'm bundled up. But yes, I'm curious, Red, about that. Would you leave it as is, or would you add some sort of armor mod that's still like, making use of all the things, but yes, it also has Hadra assets. But yeah, can't show that. Appreciate that. I'm worried I'd click on your account by accident and be like, oh shit. So appreciate that. Lone says it doesn't leave much to the imagination at some point. But yeah, well, I think it's probably, again, the fact that he's given 2 types makes sense. But as well, was always the things that the pattern that I seen within Fallout and within Skyrim was that like the mods that made some effort to be like, yes, it's a stretch for this to be in the world, but it's also they have like, it has Norse armor, like, in Skyrim. Like if you had the classic Norse engraved armor, a bikini Norse thing, it still work. People would be like, it's immersive still. It doesn't break my immersion. I will be adding to it more clothes and stuff more related to the model. Okay, so more related to the model than to the game, like immersion wise. Gotcha. The different communities for sure about that. Like there's equally the same people who want the like immersive armor also want the most not immersive and just what do you call it? Provocative, I guess. Can't wait, Red. Sloan. Boys support boys. Or perverts supporting perverts. Can't wait. I'll just need to remodel the clothes to fit her. I get it. Okay. Oh, I see. So you're gonna be able to make like specific types of armor, not related to that. Oh, okay. I misread. Okay. I'm curious about this one. Not for the reasons you may think, but probably for the reasons you think. But yeah, I'm curious what kind of armor you would throw on there, because to me there's such a good opportunity to provide both. To be like that, okay, yeah, you're horny jail, all that, but then also to provide like a badass succubus, fucking crazy as shit, metal as fuck, jagged as hell, Elden Ring, Dark Souls type armor. You know what I mean? In fact, oftentimes, Red, you just need to put out the like you're doing the body type out there, and then people will just make armors for that said thing, especially if you've gone through the work to do like the physics and all that stuff. Then they'll just be like, can I just take this and adjust? Thank you. And yeah. I'll be importing clothes from other assets to fit. Gotcha. Okay. I can't wait. It's going to be interesting. Even got the out of the... Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hope I can see you tomorrow when we're playing Dark Tide. We're going to be grinding some good old that. Also, I'm happy we got a lot of talking today. Like, we're literally paused and talked for a long time because Dark Tide is a tough game to pivot and do, like, talking and doing that. But I still will do that tomorrow. But yes. I'm off to go edit a special video for a special, possibly, who knows, channel. Doesn't exist. Does it? Who knows? Bye. Love you. I see. More of a hangout streamer. Yeah, well, we did things. But yeah.